Alright, yo, it's your boy Yoshikania, and today we are in the world of Boridil.
It's gonna end up pissed at the end of this. Cool.
Uh,
Maybe, who knows. Alright, so, when we last left our heroes, you guys were hanging out, and Dvorkin had just left for who knows where, but he left with the Bone Chewer clan after he had defeated his father in a coup de grace. And now he is going to right the wrongs of his father and their clan to try to make a better name for the Bone Chewer clan. Anyway, he left, he said bye-bye, and then you guys were hanging out, and you guys were like, wait, what happened to Nimrod? So you decided it's time to investigate and try to figure out what this dude's up to. You heard a couple rumors about someone leaving town, that someone being Nimrod, and going to aid the goblins in whatever it is they were doing. And of course, this pissed Frederik off, and he's like, I really need to make sure that this doesn't happen. Meanwhile, though, Frederik was hanging out in the cemetery just playing a nice little lullaby, and some creature, something, a dragonborn dude came up and offered him power in exchange for fine art and musical pieces. But you guys, all you guys know about it so far is that occasionally Frederik talks to himself and his right eye is purple for whatever reason. But none of you actually know what's going on except for Frederik so far. Anyway, as you guys decided, you didn't. The hunters were all fine. They were just having a hold up with some big tree getting in their path. And then you started to head deeper into the mountains to try to find the goblins and their whereabouts. While you guys were hunting the goblins, you became hunted as a pack of dire wolves jumped off the cliff to attack you, but then the dire wolves were hunted by an owl bear, which was then hunted by Basilisk, which was then hunted by Bullet, and it was a good time. It was a really good time. Jeff almost died. Twice.
Yeah, he did.
Dan was really
Unfortunate positioning the
let's
whole
not talk
time.
about that. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
All right.
yes. Meanwhile, the rogue
Shield
took no damage.
wizards. Anara did perfectly fine hiding behind the rocks. She did a really good job.
The bard took no damage.
Yeah.
Where'd
The
she
actual
go?
tank took no damage.
Hey. Not for lack of trying.
That's true. Anyway, so yeah, after defeating all the creatures, Jeff drained some of their blood into some vials for whatever reason he is intending those to be. And then Nara helped him, so they've kind of got, like, I don't know, growing friendship going by draining the blood of their enemies. I guess that's cool, right?
Alright, that's creepy as shit.
Anyway, so you get to the meeting spot of the Dragonborn and Kobolds for whenever they do their trades. And at the very top of the hill, you see your friend fellow, Nimrod. Hanging out, kind of nervous, looking around, expecting someone no less. And as you roll into this area, Frederik instantly approaches him. Hey, cat, don't scratch that. Anyway, Frederik approaches him, and you guys begin to question him. He was very nervous. He did not want to talk to you guys because he didn't know you guys were coming. But he was telling you that he was here to trade with the kobolds, and that you guys had heard wrong. You guys were insistent that you had heard correctly and that he was actually here for the goblins. And then he pretty much confessed to the whole framing of Frederik's family in order to gain power. But he didn't tell you why he did it. He said that he was pretty much forced into it, but he didn't tell you the whole story. And then, after a couple seconds and a hold person spell later, you heard a very familiar voice, your good old goblin friend Vraz, approaching the meeting spot. And as Vraz approached with his little merry group of goblins, Frederik gave the word, and Inara and Adeline slit Nimrod's throat, and Frederik pushed him off the cliff, watching his body tumble dead. Rotten. Not rotten. it's not been long enough. But anyway,
Like
after
30
that,
seconds.
after that, Vraz was he was actually surprised. He's like, "Wow, okay, you guys just murdered the shit out of that dude. I don't know why you did it, but you had your reasons, I'm sure. But now I don't know what to do with this kobold captive, so we're gonna leave because I don't trust you guys." And it was at that point that we left off, and it is at that point that we will begin our session.
We had to go find somebody for some reason for Roz.
Oh, he wants to speak with Javorkin
Well, he
because he
didn't
wants
want to. You guys were saying we could help you with the kobolds if we go get the orcs, and he's like, I don't think you're going to be able to get him.
Yeah.
So he was pretty persistent about trying different tactics. We're not
Regardless.
bothering with orcs.
If we have anything about the kobold, if we have anything to trade with him information-wise, we can shoot a firebolt up in the air a lot later on.
Yeah, come back to the meeting
Populous.
spot and fire a firebolt up in the air, and he would send somebody to come and talk to you guys. Real quick, is the music too loud? Should I turn it down?
It's a little bit. It was a little bit loud.
It's okay.
Some
In my head.
some of
Sorry.
them are louder than others, which I don't understand, but it's okay. Anyway, so Vraz has just left, and Nimrod's body is lying lifeless on the cliff behind you. What would you like to do?
So it's at this point that Frederick fucking
Aren't we supposed
snaps
to be
out of it.
hunting?
Yeah,
Aren't we supposed to be hunting goblins or something?
yeah, we are. We're supposed to be. We need ears of goblins for the pot of gold that the hunters are.
Yep, you just gotta find the goblins first.
Right. Do we have any idea of which way Roz left and which direction?
So the direction that you guys came upon this this trading area, it doesn't have all too many entrances and exits. It's really just got the one that you guys came by. But as you walk down that way, you end up having a blind spot of the cliff, so you didn't see if they only just started walking away a few minutes ago while you guys are hanging out here. So.
Okay,
But you
what-
don't know exactly what location, except for that they exited this area.
Right. And so all we see around us is just that we're on pretty much just on this like cliff top.
Yeah, you're on a hill with some shrubbery and such around. It's probably the greenest area you've seen since you've gotten into the mountains.
Interesting.
So, are we gonna head back to town, or look for more goblins? Because I thought, Vidragi, you were gonna take the body back to town.
I think we should just leave the body there. No one will go looking for him.
It's up to you guys.
What do you think?
I thought we made a decision
Three.
last week.
So it's at this point Frederick like sort of remembers that Nimrod is down there. He remembers that he gained power because he wanted to protect his clan and anyone else that's important to him. He sort of starts sobbing and saying that this is not what he wanted to do. I'm describing it because I don't actually want to act this out.
You don't want to cry for us?
No, I don't want to cry for you.
Cry like a little blubbling girl. I'm just kidding. Okay, so for Drake, you all can see as he looks over the cliff at...
He also jumps down there.
Oh, okay. You can see before he jumps, you see some glistening coming from his eyes. Nishan, you know this extraordinarily well as tears. And then you watch as he leaps down towards the body.
Interesting.
It's only like a 10-foot drop, so no need for an acrobatics check.
For Drake, pretty regularly jumps 30 feet into the air. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. So it ain't nothing.
Well, Onara is incredibly uncomfortable with feelings and just stays back.
I guess.
I go down there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I would like to follow for Drake.
Okay.
I kind of look at.
bookworms, I need both of you to make acrobatics checks. So.
Rest in peace.
As you're,
I need to make
as you're
a what
climbing-
check?
An acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Okay.
Yeah, I need to see if you guys can climb down the rock face. You're good.
Give me a sec.
Natural one, please. Okay, you're good too. So
Wow.
you
guys
watch
rolled the
as they
same thing.
slowly as you look back up, because you hear some rocks falling down, you're like, are they about to throw a rock on me and kill me too? You look up and you see both of your wizard friends pretty much clutched to the side, very slowly climbing down, like unusually slow. You hear what sounds like dry heaving coming from Jif as his heart is racing, and you, for a moment, you hear his heart beating. Tum, 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 tum. Also kidding, that doesn't you just climb down. But it takes you a little while because, yeah, you guys aren't, the best acrobats. What's funny is once you guys do get to the bottom, you watch Inara as she finds a slope and just casually walks down.
Yep.
And then Adeline is up on the top of the cliff watching as all you guys gather around a Dragonborn's corpse.
Indeed.
You doing okay there, Drake?
I never wanted this to happen. He
What?
was
Oh.
one of us. Even if he was a piece of shit. Maybe he was just stupid.
Hey, sometimes you gotta do things that are really you don't think that are necessary, and you
He
do
had
things
no
that
reason to do that.
he had to have some kind of motive. What that motive is, we will never know now. But
I asked him for more information. At the very least.
you could have tried to knock him out. But it's besides the point. What's done is done. We can't go back. We must press, and
We have
must-
to bring him back. He deserves at least a burial like the rest of them.
Okay.
Okay, we will help you if that is what you seek.
Please.
I summon a mage hand to help us carry him.
I do the same.
All right, so 2 mage hands and the actual hands of another person would be enough to carry him.
So,
Since he
not
does not
trying to
breathe, you
move.
could throw him in your bag of holding if you really wanted to.
Oh my god.
I'm just throwing that out there so you can put a corpse, but just beware when you pull it out of the bag of holding how awkward and how, murder hobo-ish it'll look.
Carry it
sense
most of the way there. In the
Yes,
I
bag.
sense
Not
that the Drake
in
would
the
not like that.
buddy mood, but,
Jeff
What
walks
are-
into the
what
council
are we
building.
gonna
Look what
tell-
I found as he shakes his rucksack in a Dragonborn corpse.
Drops out.
What? Guards?
so what are we gonna tell people?
We have the truth. That's honestly it.
We're
That's
gonna tell them that we murdered this guy? Okay. Sure.
I see no other way. I mean, and Drake sort of like picks up Nimrod, cradles him as if he were, I guess, a baby, but huge.
Yeah.
Huge baby.
Okay.
As you cradle him, you hear coming from his mouth as the gases start to leave his body and rigor mortis starts to set in.
Love.
Oh, it's painful.
For Drake, we must go. If you want to do what you want to do, we need to get him back now.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
Yes. Yes, I'll ever be.
Bill, real quick, do you see your new RAM token?
I do.
Okay, cool.
I don't see the token, but I think I just have to drag it out like so.
Yeah. Boom, cool.
Okay. So, are we picking up the body now, and are we headed?
I
back
am
to Zimmer?
currently carrying the body, along with
Yeah.
Chances.
I assumed that you guys left your horses at the bottom of the cliff, so they are hanging out down there right now.
Sweet.
And you would be able to put the corpse of your friend fellow on the backside of the horse and ride into town with it. Unless you want to just walk the whole way, that's up to you. It'll take longer.
Putting him on the fucking horse.
Okay.
Drake's not that strong.
Oh dear.
Do-do-do-do.
All right. So you've got him on the horse, and are y'all are heading into town then?
Mhm.
Time to ride on back. Cool. Da, da, da. Let's do some music change real quick.
What the hell?
Where's the music? Son of a bitch. Where's the music? There we go. All right. So you guys are starting to ride back into town, and you come back to where you guys were fighting all these creatures before. By the bullet, you see a purple tiefling female examining the corpse that you guys left behind.
God.
I ignore her.
Can we just like walk past and pretend she doesn't exist?
I mean, I
guess you could.
Let's see if she stops us.
Well, let's make our way downtown then.
Making my way downtown, walking fast.
Walking
It's
fast.
fast.
I'm sorry that just happened.
I am too. That completely fucked it.
So as you guys are walking closer, Jeff,
Walking
since you are leading
downtown.
the way for whatever reason as a mage, also as the meat shield, you notice that she's
I don't understand.
examining what marks you guys left on it, like what weapons you used and such, and she's
Oh, God.
going into pretty good detail as to how to kill this creature.
Oh, how to kill it?
And you guys just walk right past her.
Warriors!
Oh,
Oh.
hey.
Hi.
Didn't see you there.
Do you know how these great beasts have been felled? This must have taken an army.
Oh, we did that on the way up.
Oh, yeah, it's a typical Tuesday.
You guys must be very powerful. What happened here?
Oh, well, I tried to attack the wolf, and Maximus heard the sound. They came attack me attacking the wolf, and then the owlbear heard Maximus come, and then the bully heard the owlbear come, and it was a
Wow.
an ordeal.
Would it offend you if I collected parts of their bodies for spells?
Oh, I already did so. There you go. Go ahead.
Took some of the blood too.
I got some blood earlier.
Ah. May I examine it?
Yeah, we're not policing
Sure.
you.
I give her a vial of each.
Interesting.
So yeah, you give her a vial of blood,
And
and
then
then
once you give her the
the
vial of blood, she puts it in her backpack.
Sure, yes. I will have to study these further. I'm not sure what to do with them, but I'm quite curious.
I just realized I don't have 2 vials of each.
Would you like it back, sir?
Yes, I would like it back.
Should
All right,
we
I give you back the
should we
boule
try
blood.
again? Should we just try again, getting more blood?
Yeah, just.
Oh, right, they are right here, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, let me help you get another sample.
Should I try?
Yeah.
I don't remember what
Go
did I
ahead,
roll
go
when I
ahead and
did
roll
it
nature
last
check.
time. It's nature. Okay. Nature. Wow.
Oh damn.
So you take,
the
the
tongue
that you
you
had,
had previously.
like squeezed all the blood out of, and you try to do it again, but nothing comes out. So you stick your head inside of the boule, and it's so large that as you're starting to take your dagger and go through some of the soft tissue, its open jaw sort of clamps down, and now you're kind of stuck in it. Your
That's
legs
not
are
embarrassing
flailing, and everyone can hear.
Can I
Yeah,
rush forward to
I have
help?
a natural 9.
It turns around,
Oh.
sort of just stares.
Wait a second.
At the
Don't I have a reaction or something?
Well, it's dead, but you're like just kind of
Yeah, I
stuck.
know.
Like, think of a crocodile. If you watch Joe Dirt, and think of how the
God.
crocodile like chomps down on him, and he's just got his legs flailing. So you're like you're waist deep in this thing's mouth, cutting it open. There's blood everywhere. It's getting all over your clothes at this point, and no one's doing
that's
anything
annoying.
but watching you as you.
I say, Adeline, Nishan,
Can
help, and I rush forward, try and help.
I go forward
Try
and
to
grab
open its mouth,
grab a
please?
foot.
I guess
No,
I would-
open his mouth.
Awkwardly begin tugging.
I'm gonna stride forward really confidently and just rip open its jaws.
roll a strength check.
Maybe.
Ooh.
As this new person goes forward, she kind of pushes you all aside, and she sort of cracks her fingers out forward, flexes for a second, and then grabs and effortlessly opens up this jaw.
What?
There you are, Myth.
She also opens my jaw.
Great.
That's fair.
Close your mouth. It's rude to stare.
That sounds about right.
All right.
I'm not going back in there. Someone else cut it. Jesus.
Well, Anara, you definitely have enough blood on you to make a couple more vials worth. So there's enough for
Great.
2 more vials, especially if someone were to use a spell to help clean you up, maybe? Question mark.
For Drake, please.
He sort of looks at you. He's gives you this really, really tired look, and he casts his prestidigitation on you.
Thank you. Great.
So
That
now you're
wasn't embarrassing
spotless
at
like
all.
a car in a new car wash, and all of the blood was pretty much strained into 2 vials. So now, Jeff, you have 3 vials of boule blood.
Yeah.
Great. Well,
And
at least we got the blood,
did Akka
and
get?
then we can never
vials?
speak
No.
of this again.
What is your name, strange traveler?
My name is Akta. I'm hunting goblins. What are you guys doing?
It's a long story.
We're actually trying to do the same. Do you happen to have a whereabouts, or how lucky have you gotten so far? I guess I could ask that question.
3 years.
I've been tracking them for 3 years. I think I'm pretty good at it by now.
Oh, really? Really?
So-
Yeah.
Interesting.
Goblins in general, or a specific group of goblins?
Oh, goblins in
Whatever you
general.
want.
I move where they go. I don't stay in one place
What's-
very long.
What's your obsession with goblins?
I just don't like them. They smell.
Jeez.
Hey man, we
Okay.
don't smell that bad. You hear that from across the
Oh
canyon.
no,
Also,
Rod.
Did you hear that?
Hear what now?
Here what?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Hmm.
Just the wind in these canyons, these mountains. Yeah, play tricks on the ears.
What goblins have you been tracking and hunting?
There's a group around here that
We
wants
got
to
a
kill
little
kobolds, and we are trying to investigate more about the background into the situation.
What do you know?
Oh, just claims from the goblins that they used to live in this land, and kobolds came and pretty much forced them out, killing a bunch of their family members, and now the goblins want revenge, and they're trying to come back and do the same to the kobolds.
A messy situation. Have you contacted the kobolds?
We have not seen one yet.
Hmm. Interesting.
We actually know that Drake's family knows a little bit more about them because his family is the one that actually trades with them. So we have a lead there. We just haven't used it yet.
You seem like a robust group of travelers. Would you mind if I joined you for a while and trying to get these goblins?
One moment. Group meeting. I huddle over to you guys.
theoretically, you could
Yeah.
all just stand there,
Staring off
looking
into
at her
space.
and nodding your
Oh,
head
yeah.
or shaking your head while you think to each other with your thinking stones.
Exactly. That's exactly
No.
right.
And that's what we do. And then we all stop talking
You're
out loud.
moving in your head.
All right, so you
You're
all kind
saying-
of gather around this newcomer that you've discussed,
I
and
meant-
as you start to speak to each other in your minds, you begin to say question mark.
Well, she looks funny, and I point at her.
Meh.
Jeez, I don't see a
Hey,
problem.
she can't hear it.
My question is what use can she bring to us?
I mean, she ripped open that Boulez's jaw like it was like nothing. I mean,
yeah.
we didn't really ask
Okay.
what she does, or what What do we know is by looking at her, Mr. DM?
So as you look
She is
over
purple.
her, she's wearing what looks to be some common clothes. As you look at where her neck kind of is, you can see what looks to be scale mail underneath it. So she's hiding her armor in a way, more as a way to protect herself. She also, at her waist, she has 2 morning stars on the left, or 1 morning star on her left side and the other on the right side, as well as a long
Yeah.
bow attached to her back.
Looks like she might be a ranger or of some sort. Well, I mean, we could always use an
Trial
extra
run?
pair of hands. Oh, you say trial run? I mean, yeah. I mean, if we don't like her, we can always kick her out. So,
Sounds alright.
I am agreeable to this.
agreeable? Okay.
The Russian is also pleased.
Also, please. Very yes.
Okay. Well, any other objections? Or yays, mays? I'd say we just let her join for now.
So as you guys are discussing, none of you hear this, but for Drake, you hear a familiar voice in your mind. Why do not talk to your people? They are trying to discuss party motives, and you do not help put your input? Are you mad at them?
Are you mad at them? No, I'm not mad at them. And
Do we hear that?
why would I be mad at them? They've only done what
That is
they thought
a
would be
question.
helpful
Can
to
we
me.
hear him?
I am
technically
mad at
he-
Is it our
myself.
thinking
could-
stone?
Because
could-
care
He's
about
giving
this
mental
evening
communication.
girl.
It's just
Yeah,
not
But it's
us.
to a different. It's in his own mind. It's not through the sending stone. But he could
Oh,
also
okay.
be talking to this voice in his head.
For
out
Drake is
loud,
talking
if
out
you will.
loud.
Yeah. And that's
Oh,
why he
out
did it.
loud,
So he's
okay.
talking out loud, and you guys can hear him. Jeff has a little harder time because he's a little further away. But you guys know that for Drake is talking out loud, and he's looking towards where Iris would be.
We all kind of huddle around behind the Drake.
As far as I'm concerned, if she can hunt
Looming
goblins,
over
she's
him.
fine.
That is true. Let your party know your inputs. You are still a team.
For Drake turns around, and
Yo.
he's surprised to see that everyone is sort of just behind him.
You
when
okay
they
there,
were
buddy?
Just, why wouldn't I be okay? Of
You
course
okay?
I'm not okay.
Time
I
there?
mean, it's normal for us to talk to ourselves in a group. I'm sure Akka is like, what's going on? But you were just talking to yourself by yourself. I know up there might be kind of traumatizing, but just making sure you're okay. Anyway, what's your decision?
She can kill goblins, she's fine.
Okay, cool. I go back
Alright,
over to
who's
Akka.
giving her the news?
I'll give her the news. Well, I speak out loud. Well, Acta, welcome aboard.
Done.
Hold on. She was doing really good at separating character knowledge from player knowledge, and muted everybody so that she couldn't hear you guys while you discussed it.
Oh,
So she has no idea what you guys just talked about. 1 second.
Nice.
All right, Jeff.
Nice.
Redo
I
all
can
that.
dig that. I can dig that.
okay. Well, I walk up to Acta and I say, "Well, welcome aboard." And I put out my hand to shake her hand.
I take it and shake it really hard. Thank you.
Thank you. And my hand, I take it back. Like I think to myself, "Fuck, that hurt."
She's gonna be like her tank or something.
So yeah, Jeff, your hand, it throbs with a little bit of light pain, but you were like, that was firm, the firmest handshake I've ever had. It reminds me of Dravorkin's.
Yeah, she's gonna be a tank.
Okay.
And with that,
Well-
you notice she doesn't have a horse, and she's just kind of hanging out here all alone.
I mean, I've just been leading the horse by its reins, carrying the old dead dragonborn, so.
So this doesn't matter.
Okay, so you offer her the job, she takes it, and then you guys start to march on back to Iris, correct?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's go on back to Iris. And let's get rid of that guy. And let's bring in this one. Alright, so you guys are at the town gate pretty much, and as you approach...
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. As you approach, there are 2 Dragonborn guards standing at the gate, and as you get closer, for Drake, I assume you're in the lead.
Yes.
Okay. So for Drake comes up, and the guards look. Hey, for Drake, look. What the hell? What happened to that Dragonborn?
Shit happened.
This is Mimrod.
Wait,
He was
you
going
found
to.
Nimrod? He died? How'd that happen?
He was going to meet with the goblins, and I'm so sorry.
Wait, did you do this?
It's
Well, he also framed your parents.
not what I meant to do.
We need to meet with the town leaders.
Oh
about
yeah,
this.
the town leaders will definitely want to see this. And one of them turns to the other. You go with them, and I'll make sure to get another guard to cover your shift for a second. but make sure they don't leave your sight.
Octa's looking a little ill at ease because she noticed the body, but she figured it was like something you killed and that was a bad guy. So she's really not sure what's going on, but she doesn't want to say anything.
So now the one Dragonborn says, stay close to me, and if you try to get away, we will have to assume that this is of ill intent, of malicious intent. As long as you can explain yourselves, the council members should be fine with whatever transpired, but right this way. And he starts
For
to
Drake
lead
sort
you
of
guys.
follows him looking guilty as fuck.
Alright, so as you guys are following him, the other guard goes to the little guard shack, which is number 5. He opens up the door. Hey, I need 2 of you guys over here. We gotta go to the council. Mimrod's been found dead. Apparently Drake did it. And you can hear a couple folks in there, what? And they come out as you're going down this little hill thing, and they're looking, and for Drake, you sort of look back just for a moment, and they are glaring at you.
I would assume that they would be fucking pissed.
Yeah. So as that happens, you guys continue to walk down. One of the Dragonborn tails behind you, and he goes to the Dragonborn guard at number 6, and he tells the guard there, let's see, who's in the back? Because you guys have to go down this one by one, so who would be in the back of the party?
I'll be in the
Probably
back.
me.
Alright,
So both tieflings.
Both tieflings are in the back, and as you guys are walking down, you can hear the guards, and only the tieflings can hear this. You hear the guard say, do you think we should tell Mimrod's wife to be?
Oh. Shit.
And then after a few moments, I think the council should decide that. Right. And then they begin to follow again.
I'm gonna relay what I've heard through the thinking stone, just so everyone has that information.
As for Drake gains this information, his jaw clenches. This is definitely the last thing he wanted to hear.
Whoops.
So
Oh,
you guys
orange
get
kinda.
closer to the council chamber, and the front guard goes up and says, keep a careful eye on these 2. We're going to go and make sure that the rest of the town guard know that they are not to leave the premise until the council has granted them permission to do so. Right. If you guys would, go ahead and file on in, and no funny business, please. After the guards talk to each other, the 2 guards that were guiding you over to the council chambers break off and go into separate locations and start telling the other hatchery guards as well as the front guards to make sure you guys do not leave until the council has allowed it. So you walk inside of the council chambers, and you can see Edisot hanging out at her normal spot, and she looks up. Ah, the adventuring party. Did you find anything about the goblins? And the guard sort of puts his hand in front of you. Ma'am, we actually have other matters to attend to first before we talk about the goblins. I'll let Drake explain what exactly he has brought with us today. Oh, Drake, there's something new going on about?
Edisot?
Yes, dear, go on. Why do you look so glum?
It's Mimrod.
You what, dear?
Mimrod he's dead.
Dead? How could he be dead? Who did this? Do you know? We can kill them. We can take them into custody, question them, figure out what exactly they did this for, and get revenge. Get justice for Nimrod's death.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time I was in jail since I've been back.
Wait, dear. Are you meaning to tell me that you did this? You killed Nimrod?
I don't know what came over me. I
Guys,
looked at
leave
them and
us. And she hushes them away. And they walk outside, and she gets up from her chair, and she comes and stands right in front of you. Slowly, calmly, tell me what happened.
I looked at him and I just saw the reason for those soldiers and civilians to be dead, and the reason for my family to have been imprisoned, and he was going to meet with the goblins and strike some sort of deal with them, and I just killed him.
How do you know he was meeting with goblins? We sent him there to tell the kobolds that we needed time to replenish our stock after the orc raid. He was to be meeting with kobolds.
I had just seen that the goblins had just shown up after Nimrod, and
So the goblins showed up at the trading outpost, meaning that they know of our trades with
said
the
that they
kobolds.
were trying to meet with Nimrod.
So he was in league with the goblins. Do you know what it is that he was trading?
I don't know. I think he was trying to just what's the word? I've lost my words again. He was trying to delay the massacre of the kobolds by the goblin hands somehow.
So he was trying to save the kobolds, but you misunderstood his intentions and slayed him. Is that correct? Well, dear, speak up. We can't help you if you don't speak. This is a very dire situation. You do understand this.
I know it.
And I know you didn't like Nimrod, especially for what he did to your family, but obviously you did not know the man, did you?
It's been so long since I've been back.
It is, and things have changed. He had a wife-to-be, actually.
He was going to run away.
That may be so, but he may have come back to get her when she was done with her duty in the hatchery. She was actually, I think she's supposed to be relieved of duty tomorrow, and then they were going to wed the very next day. Regardless, I need to speak with the council on this. So all you heard in the whole, actually, did Nimrod say anything specific to you about why he left or why he was there, dealing with goblins instead of kobolds like we had asked him to?
I don't remember. It's all a bit fuzzy.
Nishan, you remember specifically that Nimrod had claimed that he was going to put himself in self-exile to atone for his sins? Jeff, you also remember this as well, since you two were talking to him mostly with Fredrig.
Guys.
Yes. What's her name again?
Edisot.
Edisot.
Edisot. Ma'am,
Yes.
when towards the end, Nimrod was saying that he was going to put himself into self-exile to right his wrongdoings, and he was going to start a new life somewhere else.
Interesting. So he knew he did wrong, and he tried to right it himself by going into self-exile, you say. We did not hear anything of this, which means that the whole trade that we had sent him on would have not been completed regardless. Don't leave town, and don't do anything funny. I have to gather the rest of the council, and we must discuss what to do. If there's anything else you remember before we come to our decision, please bring it forth as soon as you can. Go for it.
Does Edisot know that Nimrod framed Drake's family 100%, or
No, Edisot only had the evidence that pointed to Fordrag, or not to, that pointed to Nimrod framing Fordrag and his family, but no one had found, like, he didn't have a proper trial or anything like that, so
okay?
they were wanting to do that after the Orc invasion, but Nimrod had slipped out before they were able to bring him to trial.
I mentioned that Nimrod, in his final words, he told the rest of us that he was responsible for the framing of Drake's family. Apologized.
Interesting. So he came forth and claimed that he was in fact the one. Did he do this alone?
Yes.
No, there was someone, what was his name?
Huh?
Didn't he say someone told him to do it?
I think that he said he was working for someone.
He was working for someone, you say. Were they Dragonborn or outside influence? Do you know? Do you know have a name?
I think that's the rest of the group. I don't remember.
Interesting. So, obviously, Nimrod didn't want to do this on his own conscience. He was doing it because someone else told him to. He probably wouldn't have done it had there not been something at stake that he could lose. So he was ashamed of his actions and didn't see that the consequences of them brought forth good deeds, and that's why he wanted to go into self-exile and not speak of it anymore. But he told you all of this maybe as a omen of good faith. Interesting, very interesting. Well, if you guys could go ahead and exit the chamber, I will bring forth all this evidence to the rest of the group of the council, and we will discuss what to do. If you remember anything, you can go ahead and just knock on the door, and we will let you in. Jurim, Simoth, I need you now, quickly. And you can hear both of them getting up from their desks and open their door, and they walk in. It would seem that we have found Nimrod, and he is not with us anymore. Fordrag and his party took his life. What? Why did you kill Nimrod? Jurim, temper, please. Calm down. I've already discussed everything. I have all of the information that we need for now. But we will discuss what to do with Fordrag and his partners, and enact whatever punishment we see fit. But they will go ahead and exit the premise, but they will not leave town. Not yet. Please give us at least 30 minutes or so to figure out what to do. The door is right behind you.
Yes, ma'am. And I head out the door.
I guess we're all leaving.
Alright, so as you guys all walk out the door and it closes, you guys kind of just hang out in front of the council chambers, trying to figure out what exactly Nimrod said, trying to remember if you forgot anything specific. As the guards are walking through town, they glare at Fadraig, very much displeased with what has been transpiring.
Please.
At this moment, you guys can talk with each other if you wish. If not, then I guess we can fast forward.
For purposes of role playing, Drake is like sitting cross-legged on the ground, head in his hands. Right now, he's not really caring about listening to anyone right now. He's just moving.
Such is the life of an artiste.
I realize this might not be the best time to ask this, but what the hell is happening? I assumed that this was an enemy of yours, but I now learned it must have been a friend.
It's a long story.
We seem to have plenty of time.
A little bit.
So I
He was plotting
tell her
against you?
in the next half hour. I will tell her the backstory of Drake's family in this town.
Okay, so you sort of look at Akta and you discuss that as you arrived to Irisk, the guards had brought you guys all the way, or brought you straight to the council chambers, and Fadraig was put in chains and thrown into jail because his family has been detained for thievery. And Fadraig knew that there's no way that his parents or his whole family would do anything like that, and he asked you guys to investigate and see who really did it. As you guys found out, it was Nimrod that had planted the stolen items in Pyrith's home and then made it easy for everybody else to find these items so that they were framed. And that is what led Fadraig to his hasty decision of killing Nimrod. And that is why they are currently here.
Didn't it somehow bring about an attack too?
Yeah,
No, that was Shazir talking with the orcs, trying to get them to help attack the...
Oh, that was Shazir.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Dvorkin thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the orc thing was... Yeah, it was Jurum and Shazir had heard about a roaming tribe of nomadic orcs, and we're going to hire them to attack the kobolds with them, as long as the vote went in their favor to go to war with kobolds. Since the vote went that way, when the orcs came in to talk payment, they were not happy with their deal anymore, and then when they saw Dvorkin, they were like, okay, well, let's see how much he's grown, and they attacked. So Nimrod had nothing to do with the whole orc thing.
Was the Judrum guy the guy who he said had told him to do the thing? Is that who it was?
Maybe, if that's what you remember. This is why a notepad is necessary.
True.
But you do actually go ahead and do an investigation check for me, Miranda. You do recall Memnod saying something about Jurum during his final words.
I'm gonna relay that to everybody, because I have no idea what to do with that information. Do we want to tell her or no?
And Jurum is one of the council members as well. That you guys do know that for sure.
We should probably definitely tell her that. Who wants to tell her?
Out of character for a second, it's definitely not a good idea for Fadraig. Probably.
Noted. And when you say her, are you talking Edisot or Acta?
Edison.
I'm assuming we're talking about telling us all of that information.
I just wanted to
Yeah,
make sure.
Edison.
So,
As far as Acta is concerned, I don't think it's important whether we tell her or not.
Yeah.
No offense to Rachel.
I'm super, super offended.
Also,
Such offense.
I mean, that's what happens when someone says no offense to someone.
I really mean full offense, but
alright, so Bill is not going to tell Edisot, so anyone else could go tell her.
Bill is
or
not
you
going to
can,
tell Edisot because he's not going to.
Yeah, because he is be right back in a minute. You've got about 10 minutes until they are done with their conversation. You've got about 5 minutes before they are done with their conversation.
Okay. Can Inara just like? Yeah, I guess Inara will go tell Edison real quick.
So
How
you
long
go
does
up to the council door and you knock. Come in. You hear a voice on the other side greeting you. You push open the door and you peek your head in. And then you see Jurum, Edisot, and Simoth talking around Edisot's desk. Brimmery is not there because he is dealing with the hunters and that big tree that you had heard about earlier the day. But yeah, they're all sitting there. Yes, dear?
Can I speak to you alone for a minute?
Sure. Jurum, we will use your office if you do not mind. Yeah, that's fine. I guess Simoth and I can try to figure out a little bit more of what we'll do while you do that. And he sort of looks at you with a suspicious look. Right this way, dear. And she beckons you into the room, and you follow, and then she closes the door. What is it that you have? Have you remembered any more information?
Yes, I remembered the name of the person who Nimrod mentioned.
Oh, and who is it?
And it happens to be someone on your council.
On the council, you say?
Yes,
So,
it is
which one?
Jurum. Jurum?
Jurum. Yeah,
Yeah.
She sighs very heavily, and then all of a sudden her eyes widen. It makes sense then. How we went to war with the kobolds, how he got... He used Nimrod to skew the vote. And she looks at the door and busts it open. Jurum, you have explaining to do. What do you
Oh my god,
mean?
what happened?
Okay.
Explaining. I just got word that in Nimrod's final few words, you're the one that set him up to do this. Is that true? You think that I am the one that did that? You think that I made Nimrod do what he did? No. What proof do you have? What do you mean proof? They heard his final words, and they said that your name was mentioned. You told Nimrod to steal all those things and to frame Pyrrhus' family in order to skew the vote in favor of going to war with the kobolds, did you not? I did no such thing. You've got it all wrong, actually. I did tell Nimrod to do something to skew the vote in my favor, but after that I left it to Shazir and him to figure out what exactly it was. Other than that, I had nothing except for telling Nimrod that I would make sure that he would get a better title if he was able to help us go to war at kobolds. So, as you can see, I had no hand in it. If you want to talk to Shazir, actually I think he was at the guard outpost earlier. Well, we have a little more pressing matter to figure out before we figure out what is with you, and we do need memory in order to discuss that. There's nothing to discuss about me, Hedesat. You are a fool and feeble-minded. We were going to go to war with the Kobolds regardless. They will attack us. I don't know how you can't see this. Hedesat, Anara, you can tell, is fuming. She is not happy. Her crimson scales have gotten a little more crimson. And she goes, "Do not insult my intelligence with your brash, jarhead antics." And he also is starting to get heated, and now they are yelling at each other, which I will save all of y'all's ears and not act that out. Enough. This will be discussed in private with Brinnery attendant, and no one else will hear of what we have to say about it. But for now, she looks at you, Inara. Will you bring Fredreg?
Yes. So, I guess I'm gonna go out and grab the Drake real quick.
So you open up the door and you shout out to Fredreg.
Still fucking moping.
Did you not
Oh,
hear
quit your
the
fucking
little
moping.
tiefling?
Get over here.
Frederick says to himself, "You are extremely hard to drown out. I hate you so
It is
much."
part of the oath that you just took. I am sorry. I will try to silence myself a little more.
It's fine.
All of you hear him talking to himself again. It kind of
And
freaks you out.
Frederick gets up. Comes with an R or goes with an R or whatever.
Well, Fredreg, the Council of Three, due to the fact that Brumery is not here, has come to the conclusion that your murder of Memrod was, well, it was definitely a hasty decision. I'm almost certain that he had more information to reveal and it would have cleared this whole mess up, but he did not get that luxury. Now, from what you're telling me, he went into self-exile to atone for his wrongdoings, meaning that, theoretically, he was not a part of Iris or its laws after he left. But we had no hearing of this. We had no word that he was in exile, so he was technically, by our viewpoint, still a part of the members of the Dragonborn clan. So, we cannot enact any sort of punishment to you, but we definitely advise that you go to the Cave of Reflection and reflect on what you have done
Oh no.
and try to avoid doing this in the future. Now,
Cave.
normally, the cave is used for council members only. The cave will show you different things. You can talk to the keeper of the cave. He will explain everything to you, but this will open your mind. You may see things that are disturbing, but this will help for you to atone for your wrongdoings and see clearly in the future. And if you do not agree to these terms, then we may have to have a hired or guarded escort with you at all times whenever you are in the city.
What do I have to lose?
Now, the rest of you, obviously you helped murder Memrod, and we have no jurisdiction over you, but if you also want to go into the Cave of Reflection with Fredreg, you may, but I warn you, you will not like everything that you see or hear. As long as Fredreg does this, it is all fine and dandy, but if you all do it too, we would be more comfortable with you in our town.
Alright.
Now, Jurum, you and I, your office, we have to talk. The rest of you, you will find the Cave of Reflection in the nearest mine shaft. Ask the gods and they will lead the way. After that, she sort of nods at you guys and then walks into Jurum's office with him and promptly closes the door, and you can hear them bickering at each other.
I'm going to be honest, I forgot the Cave of Reflection was even a thing that existed.
What is the
Not
Cave
looking
of Reflection?
forward to this.
Oh god. So
Yeah, but
Anara
right now-
asked for Drake, what is the Cave of Reflection?
Yeah.
Since Frederik has forgotten, Frederik and his people know of the Cave of Reflection as a way to deem council members worthy of their title and their seat. It shows reflections of their inner person, and based on those reflections, they can deem them worthy or not of the council seat.
Okay. Got it. Wait, does that mean if we go in, we're technically worthy of being council members?
No, it means that. What it means is that it's like, think of it as a test or
Yeah.
but it's.
Yeah, it is a test in a way, but it's also a way to, I guess, clear your thoughts, as well as ensure that your future is good for the town.
In case
Okay.
someone happens to go crazy and can't get their emotions set straight, and refuses to talk to anyone about them, and has strained and keeps talking to himself for absolutely no freaking reason.
Yeah. The last thing that you also know for Drake is that the minister of the church here in Irisk, Zurag,
Yes.
Yeah, Zurag is the one that attends to the Cave of Reflection.
Oh, life is bad. Alright.
So I guess we relay all this information to everybody once we're back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys walk out and you tell them all that Frederik has to go to the Cave of Reflection in order to see his inner self. And then you also are told that you may also partake in the Cave of Reflection, but it's not necessary.
Or not necessarily pleasant either.
Exactly, yeah. It's not the most pleasant thing from what you've heard as well.
Okay.
Drake's bubbling with excitement over yet another voice in his head yelling at him.
While you guys roleplay and discuss what you want to do, I'm going to use the bathroom. Does anyone else need to use the bathroom or anything? Do we want to take 5?
I probably will. Yeah.
Alright, we'll take 5.
Good
Hold
idea.
on. I've got a new song for this. I was inspired by your background music for when we go take a break, Dan.
Okay.
Like
it.
What the fuck is this?
It's beautiful. That's what it is. Alright, I'll be right back.
Would anyone else like to accompany me to the Cave of Reflection? I say to apparently no one.
I'll go out of curiosity.
God.
What? That's something I do.
Alright. You... The other person that decided to murder Mimrod in cold blood.
Sure.
Do we have everybody back yet?
I'm back.
Jeff's back. Dan, are you there? Bill, are you back?
I've been back.
Okay, cool. Martin, you're back?
Of course.
Okay. So I think it's just Bill and Dan that are not back yet. So we'll give Dan another minute. I think Bill is eating dinner. Also, Martin, what do you mean this was not in my OCS?
OCs, like original characters, as in the
Okay.
descriptions.
Yes, it was not. Which is why it is throwing you off guard, I believe.
Nah, it's fine. I expected a lot worse. Which I'm assuming, I'm already assuming that a lot worse is going to happen anyway.
It could, maybe, who knows.
That's why I have not talked to you at all this week. I did download Dauntless, it's really fun.
Yeah, it's Monster Hunter, but more into the action as opposed to all the other things.
I don't know, I kind of like the crafting of Monster Hunter anyway, but
Yeah,
there are two different games,
yeah,
so...
they're doing like the same premise, but I enjoy Monster Hunter a lot more than Dauntless. It's still free though and fun to play, so.
That's true. It's a lot easier to play with Miranda.
Is that because she
Look,
doesn't actually
I will
play?
get Monster Hunter eventually. Shut.
I
Y'all
keep
play on
bugging her
Xbox?
about it. We're doing Dauntless on PC, of course, but I would like to do PS4 Monster Hunter. Since
If
that's
you
what I
have
have
it
at
on
work.
Xbox.
Look, I'm getting Monster Hunter soon. Okay.
Hashtag soon. Soon trademarked.
Like this month soon.
There we go.
I believe that.
Okay. All right. So we're all back except for Phil, and I think he's gonna be a couple more minutes. So, let me get back to the good old music. Dun, dun, dun.
So while you've been gone, apparently Onara is going to join for Dragon. Cave of Reflection.
Anara
Just
is?
because she's curious.
I would like to join as well.
All right.
Oh god.
I would also like to join. Maybe I could find out what my destiny is.
Jeff would also like to join.
Okay. So I pretty much get it that everybody wants to go into the cave.
Wow, guys, thanks for the vote of solidarity.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I just want them to not think that I killed anyone.
They have no idea who you are anyway, so I doubt they even care about. I'm pretty sure they're probably confused as to why you're with us, but I believe that's as far as their thinking goes about you.
All right.
All right.
So, as you guys all talk about the Cave of Reflection, everyone kind of pipes in, you know, I could go for a reflection or two. And you decide, all right, let's all go as a group. So you make your way, huh?
Can I like warn them against this?
Sure. You can go ahead and roll for it.
Guys, sure. 100%.
It seems as though your friends want you to suffer and want to watch you suffer.
I mean, that's fair.
That's pretty much that's my game plan at the moment. I just want to watch.
Wow, thanks, Nishan.
I mean, I don't want to pass up this opportunity to learn something new, so that's why I'm going.
That's pretty in character for me. Yeah.
Frederick, like, sort of face palms and asks himself how we're all still alive at this point.
Dumb luck.
Okay, so he warned you guys, and you guys are all like, cool, we get it. You don't think we should do this, but hey, we're gonna do it anyway, because we don't care what you say. That's what I'm getting at.
Yup.
So then,
As usual.
yeah, as you start to head over towards the mine shaft that'll take you to the cave, everyone follows you. I do not have a map for this because I did not need one, so we will be stuck looking at this map just so everyone's aware. Anyway, you walk through the cave and the guards keep pointing you, making sure you don't go down the wrong shaft towards the other hatcheries that are within the mountain. And finally you come to a stone door that has a couple torches on the outside of it. It's a little colder than when you first entered the cave at this point. And there is a older dragonborn that is sitting in a chair outside of this, and he is currently snoring.
Was it Zerog? Do I recognize him as Zerog?
You do.
Zerog. Zerog. Wake up.
Oh, who's there? Oh,
It's for Drake.
Hold on, I need my glasses. And he starts to fumble around. Where did I put those? For Drake, you notice they are on top of his head as he is looking under the chair. Where could I have put them?
I mage hand and like knock them onto his face.
So your mage hand comes forth, pokes them, and they fall. Oh, there they are. How'd they do that? And he looks up at the ceiling. How did I put them on the ceiling? I'm not that tall. I'm very confused.
Zerog, you're getting senile.
Huh? Verdraig! Oh, it's Verdraig. You're my second favorite Dragonborn, besides your sister, of course. Are you sure you don't believe? Wait, hold on. You left us. Why are you back?
I did something very bad and I need to reflect on my actions in the Cave of Reflection.
Oh! He, sort of, like, stands up really tall at this point, and you can tell that he's now a lot more serious. Why have you been told by the council to come here?
Is he asking why I have been told, or...
No, he's asking if you've just been told by the council, or if you're just
Yes.
here on your own volition.
I've been told, but yeah, they told me to.
Oh dear. Oh boy. Wait, this is a good thing. They're trying to give you a seat on the council, is that it?
No. That's
Normally,
not.
the Cave of Reflection's used for two things. To see if someone's worthy of the council, or for someone to understand their own shortcomings of a terrible deed.
It would be the latter.
My boy. And he opens his arms and tries to go in for a hug. What has happened to you?
Well, I mean, Drake's not gonna stop him from hugging him.
Alright, he hugs the fuck out of you. And you can actually hear him sobbing in your chest. What has happened to you? And he looks at you with both hands on your shoulders. You had such promise, such talent, and now you're here at the Cave of Reflection. Oh dear, dear. You do know what happens in the cave, do you?
It's not really something that I tried to learn much about. I figured I would never have
Well,
a chance to go in.
just so your compatriots know what they're getting into as well, because I assume they didn't follow you down here just to hear your screams.
Damn.
I mean, don't get ahead of ourselves here.
I mean, that's probably
Maybe
what
a
they
little.
did.
Well, the way
I'm
it
not gonna
works
call them good people.
is when you enter in, you will see 4 mirrors on the wall around the room. One of them will show your past, another your present, and 2 of your future. Now, the thing about it is, the future can be changed, but the past and present are as is. So, when you walk in, there will be a pool of magical liquid in front of you, and you must take a drink and then peer into each mirror. But I want to warn you, sometimes the future, knowing exactly what's going to happen, will drive someone mad. Your actions definitely don't have to lead to this madness. So please, take it with a grain of salt, as I think they say. I don't really remember, but not everything has to be exactly as you see. I did not mean to rhyme that, by the way.
I'm sure.
Oh,
Can we get this over with?
it is one at a time, so Verdraig, you're first, I guess. And he goes open and he pulls out a ring of keys, and there is only one key on it. I think it's this one. He puts it into the door, and you can hear a click. Ah, yes. I guess I'm not that old. And he opens up the door. Good luck, Verdraig. And please, don't be too hard on yourself.
Before I go in, how has Shero been doing?
Your sister, well, she's been thinking about going on a pilgrimage and leaving the town to learn more about her gods and the rest of the gods and how people see them. After seeing how many Dragonborn don't necessarily believe in them, she thinks that maybe other races do, and she can find more guidance that way.
That sounds like a fine choice.
I believe so too, but you know your sister. Anyway, good luck, Verdraig. And he pats you on the back. And as you walk in, he closes the door, and you can hear it lock. That is
Someone
not
just
this
disappeared.
song. Yeah, Bill went to the AFK channel.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there they all are. Pretty sure this is the song I want. Anyway, you walk inside, and what you see, no torches, but the room is lit. The pool of water in front of you is probably about 5 foot in diameter, and you can see it as it glistens. It is the source of the light that allows you to see in this room. Just like he had told you, there are 4 mirrors. One of them is right in front of you, 2 of them on the left and right side of the circular chamber, and the final one is behind you on the door. As you walk in, you take in the smell of fresh water. The temperature is really cool. It's actually a little warmer in here than it was right outside of the cave. And you approach the pool of water. As you look inside of this pool of water, you see your reflection as it sort of shimmers on the surface. Little orbs begin
Do I see my eye?
You can see your eye. So you see your left eye as the yellow color, and your right eye is a bright purple. Yes,
Oh.
now.
That's
There's no cat in here,
fucking
by the
spooky.
way. You sort of get down on your knees and cup your hands into the pool, and you take a drink as you were instructed to do. As you do, as you take this drink, your vision starts to blur for just a moment before you finally shake your head, and it comes back to where it is plain again. An orb of light comes out of the water, floats to one of the mirrors, and you can see think of like a mini explosion, as if a fairy or something hits it and glitter exploded, but not not actual glitter. You approach this mirror. You look into it, and you can see your parents holding a dragon egg in their arms, a blue dragon egg. Then it fast forwards a little bit, and now you see yourself as a young adolescent dragonborn. Your parents have smiles upon their faces, and your brother is giving you a noogie while your sister is yelling at him. And it fast forwards one more time with your back turned to your family at the gates of Irisk with tears in their eyes as you leave. You reflect on your past, how it has brought you to where you are today, leaving your family that notably loves you in pursuit of something more. You see a bright light in the mirror behind you, and as you turn around, it goes to the mirror that is on the left side of the chamber and does the exact same interaction with the mirror. You walk over to it, and you look and gaze upon it, and you see yourself in your current form, but without the purple eye. And then it shimmers for a moment, and now you see a black dragonborn over your right shoulder with purple eyes looking at you with a smile on his face. It shimmers again, and you see your party standing behind you as you're all becoming pretty good friends, and it is enlightening you to what the world is beyond the walls of Irisk. Once again, another orb comes out from the well and goes to the mirror to your right. You walk over to it, and you see yourself a few years older, but now you have wings. You also have horns, and you notice that there is a dark black aura emanating from around you. you almost look as if you're demonic in a way, and you're not really sure what to take of that.
This can't be right.
One final orb interacts with the mirror. As you walk over to it, you see yourself on the ground, dead. As you look upon your chest, there is a glaive where your heart is. As it climbs, you see Adeline above your corpse, eyes glowing bright gold and angelic wings emanating from his back as he stands over your dead body.
Adeline! I thought we were friends.
As you say that, you hear a chuckle from behind you. You turn
For Drake, like,
around,
yeah.
and standing above the pool is a dark shadow of a dragonborn with a broken horn.
Mimrod?
Fridrig. Do you see what your actions have done to you? They've corrupted you. You wanted power to protect your family? No, that's not what you want, Fridrig. You want power.
It is!
No. You want power to take control of people. You want power to use it to bring your own sort of suffering to others. Is that it?
No, I'd never want to control anyone. I value freedom.
Then why did you slay Nimrod where he stood? The shadow starts to wisp its way closer to you. Why didn't you give him a chance? Were you so blinded by your rage that you could not see that he was actually innocent? You're weak, Fridrig.
And so what if I am? It's... Everyone can start weak, and everyone can...
You saw your future. You saw what you become.
The future can change!
Oh no, you're set on your path when you made the decision to bind with that thing in your head. He gave you the power you asked for, and he does not control you. This is all of your own doing. You slayed Memrod in cold blood to see if you could, didn't you? Didn't you?
No!
You can keep lying to yourself, Fridrig, but I know you, because I am you.
No, nothing.
You finally see two eyes appear, one of them yellow and one of them purple. You let your emotions control you. True power comes from being able to control yourself. Since you can't control yourself, your power will grow, but your grasp on it will not. You will become a tyrant, and your friend Adeline will have to slay you for all the suffering you will bring upon those that you love. I can't wait for your father to upset you and see what you do to him, or your sister, your brother.
I would never.
Even your mother. The shade starts to walk back. Now for Drake. Now that you know that you're just a killer, nothing better than that. Go forth, tell your party what you've seen. See if they still love you. The shade starts to smoke from the bottom all the way to where the eyes are, and as the figure disappears before you, you see two glowing eyes, one yellow, one purple, before they blink, and now you are in the room on your own. You drop to your knees.
Yup.
And you start to weep in your hands, and it's at this point that you hear an audible click behind you as the door opens. Fridrig, are you okay, son?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's
Come on
It's
now,
not-
boy. Stand up.
it's worse than what's going to. And Drake stands up.
So as you stand up, you start to walk out, and you definitely have a sort of expression on your face that is of gloom as well as a sort of shock of what is to be or what could be. And your party notices this.
Bill, are you back?
I don't think Bill's
Bill.
back. He's away on Discord, so yeah, he's still gone.
Well, what I was going to do, assuming that Adeline's actually in there, I would have walked up to Adeline, and I would have told him just straight up, if ever I stray, I want you to kill me.
Most likely, Adeline would nod and, don't worry, I will not allow you to stray. You are my friend. But
And
in
then-
all honesty, what we'll do is we'll sort of pause that moment in time and come back to it to roleplay it.
Okay. Once
Does-
Bill gets back.
Exactly. Yeah. Does anybody else wish to go through?
I'll go through.
Well,
Very well.
and I'm assuming that everyone.
Nara has
or
changed her mind.
The sobbing and the screaming and the
You said
various
Nara's
other
changed
things.
her mind.
That's fair.
That's fine.
Oh, Nara's like, nah, fuck that.
Okay. All right. So, very well. Please go have a drink, and then please don't think about it too hard. So he weaves you in to the Cave of Reflection, and you walk in. And as the door is closed, you feel a cool sensation come about you, and the smell of fresh water takes you. You go up and take a drink of the pool in front of you, just as Drake had done, and an orb appears after a few moments. It touches the mirror in the same fashion, and you approach it. As you peer into it, you see two humans, one male, one female, and the mother is bearing a child. It shimmers a little bit and goes further, and you see a young adolescent demon-looking girl with these two humans. The humans look somewhat disgusted as to what they have created. It shimmers forth a little bit more, and you watch as you leave your village behind, alone, cold, tears in your eyes as you have been outcast from your family. Behind you, you can see another orb in the reflection of the mirror as it goes to the next mirror. You approach it, and you see yourself. You have your weapons in hand, and you stand with a foot firmly on a monster that you have just slain. Notably, the bullet that you actually didn't kill, but that you have found, and you sense a proud moment in yourself. Again, another orb behind you, and it hits the next mirror, and you approach it, and you see yourself with your two morning stars as you are slaying a dragon.
Yes!
One final orb, and you go upon it, and you look, and you see an elven woman in all black with her hand on your forehead. But the thing about your body is that she has left a mark on your forehead, and your eyes are black. You do not know who this elven woman is. The party knows her as Nagex. And you sit in front of her, defeated, Finally, you hear a voice behind you. You do not think that you're destined for greatness. You are nothing but a demon.
Of course I'm destined for greatness. I've been fighting all my life.
Fighting yourself, demon. Your blood is impure. You are nothing. Your family betrayed you, kicked you out of town. They did not want you.
I did nothing wrong.
Your mere existence is wrong. But there is one that would possibly be able to use you for your specific talents of mayhem and chaos. It is running in your blood, your demon's blood. You are filth.
No. I'm better than that.
You may think that on the surface, but deep down, in the shade, comes closer to you, and you notice that it is very, very similar to your physique, and the same shade of eyes that you don't have on your character sheet, so I don't know. But anyway, this tiefling figure looks into you. Your destiny is the only reason that keeps you going, because you hope. That's all you have is hope. You don't have a true calling. Otherwise, you're filth like the rest of them.
No.
The shade walks back. Her name is Nagex. And after a few moments, it starts to fade away, and then you see the two eyes glowing for a moment before they close.
I fell down on my knees too.
As you plop on your knees, you hear an audible click from behind you. Now, young one, are you okay?
Sort of.
Come on now. It is going to be okay. You can change the future.
It's not definite?
Only if you make it so. Otherwise, no. It doesn't have to be that way.
Okay. I can do this.
You stand back up and you start to walk out, wiping away the tears, trying to appear strong in front of your new comrades that you have just met.
Thank you, the old man whose name I forgot.
His name is Zurog.
Thank you, Zurog.
It's no need to thank me. I didn't do anything, but you're welcome. Hopefully we can guide you into the proper path if you did not see one that you want. Well, is anyone else going?
Yes.
Right this way, young man. And he beckons to you to enter the Cave of Reflection. And as you do,
I approach.
yeah, he closes the door and you hear the audible click. And before you lies the pool of magical water. As you approach it, you smell fresh water coming from it, as well as the nice cool air. You get down on your knees and scoop it and drink it in the same fashion as everyone else has before you. And then an orb emanates from the pool, and it goes in front of you to the first mirror. As you approach the first mirror, you see a young version of yourself casting little bolts of flame from your fingers. Nothing that could do harm, maybe ignite a twig or two. Then it shimmers for a bit, and you see elderly men as they teach you new ways to use your magic, and now you're noticeably able to cast even bigger bolts of fire. It shimmers one more time, and you see the corpses of your friends that you had met in the mountains that you're from, while you stand supreme, two fireballs in your hand. Behind you, another orb appears and goes to the next mirror. And as you walked up to this mirror, you see yourself as the maid you are, holding the orb that you got from the maidens. Your eyes are fixated on it. The mirror shimmers, but your vision stays focused while the background keeps on changing. You see your party for a moment, it fades. You see your hometown for a moment, it fades. The only thing fixated is you on that orb and your current obsession with it. Another orb appears, and you walk over to the mirror. And as you look at it, you see this orb has changed dramatically. It is pulsating with power as you have unlocked its full potential. You look at yourself, and your skin has withered a bit. You look notably older as you have finally figured out how to unlock the potential of the orb. But you also notice that you have elementals by your side at your service. 1 fire, 1 water, 1 wind, 1 earth. Final orb appears, and you approach the mirror. You see yourself and Rixa together. You also see the corpse of Nagex at your feet. The thing about this, though, is that you and Rixa, even though you can't see Rixa's face, you can see the decay, and you can see that your flesh is nothing more than leathery. You can see your bones. You are undead at this point. Orb in hand, Rixa by your side. My name is Hev.
My name is Hev.
Just kidding, the shade does not say that. But behind you, you see a shadow. Your thirst for power led you down a very, very dark road, did it not? You see yourself now. There's no way you can obtain the power that the elders want from you, not unless you do the undoable. You must become immortal. That orb will help you do it, but with a price. Are you prepared for that? Because all I see is a scared little boy.
I crack a smile and just stare at him.
Maybe I misjudged you. But you definitely can't do it alone, because you're too weak. Your party, they mean nothing to you. They will only hold you back, and you know this, but yet you stay with them. The shade gets closer and closer. Rixa is your only friend. Rixa will help you find the truth. With the silence, the shade begins to walk away. And then as it stands above the pool of reflection, it begins to smoke from the bottom all the way up before you see the 2 blue eyes close. Do you fall to your knees? Probably not.
No.
The door opens and... You must have had a really good reflection. You must be pure of heart, huh?
Something like that.
Very well. Maybe you can teach these other ones something that will help change their life goals and such. Well, anyway, come on now.
Thank you.
Would
And I follow him.
Okay, cool. At this point, Bill, we're going to backtrack again, just so that you hear what happened with Verdrag. The main notable portion that concerns you is that Verdrag's first memory, or first vision of the future, showed him with wings and horns. It also showed a dark aura emanating from him in a swirling kind of fashion. It then showed his next vision of his corpse laying on the floor and a glaive sticking out of his heart. And as it focused more upon who was holding the glaive, he saw you, Adeline, standing above his corpse, glaive in hand, angel wings and glowing eyes, or glowing gold eyes of vengeance. He then exited in a sob and approached you, Bill.
Madeline.
Oh, I guess he's not fucking
You're
here.
muted. Oh, God.
He was here a moment ago, and then I guess he left again. Damn it, that was good. Okay, anyway, back to where we're... Would anyone else care to go in? He looks at the other mage as well as the tiefling that has not approached.
I will. Nishan would like to go in.
Very well. Go on and take a drink. And as you enter the room, he closes the door, and you feel the cool air and the fresh sense of fresh water. As you approach the pool, you get on your knees, cup your hands, and take a drink. After a few moments, a orb appears from the water and touches the first mirror. As you look at it, you see yourself, a small elven boy, learning how to cast magic missile for the first time, accidentally injuring one of your best friends. Your family then shimmers, and you see your family sending you off with what you know as your master. It then shimmers one more time, and you see yourself in the location of your master's home, with what looks like a struggle appeared before you could get there to help your master. Another orb appears from behind you, and as you look into it, you see yourself alone, in chains. You see the image of the Scarlet Boar emblem sort of pulsate. You then see it sort of shatter as your party, or your current party, comes to rescue you. And you see yourself with a smile. You have friends now. Something you're not used to after the incident of your childhood. Another orb appears and goes to the next mirror. You look into it. You see yourself embracing your master after you've finally found her. It shimmers, and you see you and your master back to back as you fight a horde of undead together, just like you had always imagined and hoped. One final orb appears and hits the next mirror, and you go up to it, and it is the exact opposite of what you had just saw. You see yourself before your master, as you are both, think of the Harry Potter fight between Voldemort and Harry when they had their, like, whatever, was it Avada Kedavra? Was that the final spell that they used before? Anyway, you're both pretty much scorching raying each other, and that one. So you're scorching raying each other, and you see that the battle is sort of even. You've matched your master in power. But as you take a closer look, your eyes have become black. You look behind you, and you see Nagex standing beside you, fueling you with power. And finally, your power overwhelms your master, and you char her to a crisp. And you stand there with a smile on your face. Next, a shade appears. Ah, Nishan. We are a curious bunch, aren't we?
That we are. That we are.
First your friends, then your master. Soon your companions will know to fear you, will they not?
Maybe. Maybe not.
No, you know. You know. They're just helping you find your true power before you can unleash it and rule the world, just like your elven brethren before you centuries ago, is that not? Elves are superior, are they?
That we are.
Excellent. That will get you far. Never forget it. Nothing is above an elf, not even a god. It approaches you closer. Be mindful of the other wizard. He seeks to overshadow you, pathetic human. And then he starts to back away. You will do great things, Nishan. You will do great things. And as he says this, he starts to smoke from the bottom before you see two blue eyes close. And then you hear an audible click, because I assume you do not fall to your knees.
I do not.
Okay. Oh, you must have had a good vision too. You wizards are something else, that is for sure.
You could say that, yes.
Okay. Bill, are you back yet? Bill is not back yet. So, Anara does not want to go into the cave, right? Miranda?
She's muted.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
I had to get back to the screen.
No, you're good, you're good. At this point, we can backtrack if Bill wants to go to it. But for now, we'll go ahead and just, well, hopefully you don't take everything that you saw as what is to be. That is why there are two mirrors that show you the future. Typically, they're different polar opposites. Only in the case of them being exactly the same is that a mass probability of what will happen, unless you change. Remember though, the future is for you to craft yourself. Don't let these mirrors fool you. It is only a vision of what could be. I will tell the council that you have changed, because I can see it in you. You do regret your past decisions, do you not, Fredrig?
Of course.
That's what I thought,
I
especially
will change.
now. Go on. The Cave of Reflection takes a lot out of you. You all need rest and nourishment.
Alright. Alright guys, I assume you all had a great time. Let's go back outside. This cave is starting to get to me.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yep, let's go.
Okay, so as you start to walk out of the cave, the air gets a little more, like, as you approach the exit, it becomes warmer and warmer before you finally exit the cave. And you breathe the fresh air. What would you guys
question.
like to do? Oh, out of character?
How
question?
much? Yes, out of character question. How much of the stuff of what everyone else did did we actually hear?
None of it. The stone door muffled all sound from inside.
Other than like various screaming from.
Exactly. So the shades that you saw, even though they looked like they were speaking, it was all in your mind that they were communicating.
Okay.
So the only thing they would have heard would be muffled like responses to the shade if you cried out to them. Otherwise, the conversation was more in your head as you looked at the shade.
Okay.
But the weeping tears, the keeper of the cave has grown to have a good ear for crybabies. I'm kidding, cries. Of
That's fair.
People in the cave. And that is how he was able to hear when you were completed with your quest. Well, your reflection, not quest.
Alright. That's that for that.
So now that you guys have exited the mine shaft, what would you like to do?
What time is it right now? Game?
In game, it's probably about 4 in the afternoon-ish.
Okay.
So it's starting to become evening, but the sun is still up.
I'm curious on if we can speak to Drake's father, but I'm not sure if it's the best time or place for that.
For Drake's father?
Oh yeah.
Do you say that out to the party?
Yes. I'd like to speak with him about the kobolds. He has more information about that.
I would like to, as much as it pains me to do so, I would like to speak to my father as well.
Okay. Well, he is at home. So I will assume that you guys walk on over to Fredreg's house. And as you enter... Ah, Fredreg, hello, son. How are you? That goblin thing didn't take long. Did you find what you needed?
We did find goblins.
Oh, did you take them out?
No, we did not.
Strange. I figured you would have been able to take a couple out after I saw you do those things to those orcs. Did they get you?
Actually, there was something I wanted to ask you.
Oh, go ahead, son. You can ask me anything.
Anything, Father?
Yes, anything. I want to be completely transparent with you. Now that I've seen what a great dragonborn you're destined to be.
I have never been with you to the kobold trades. I was wondering how those typically went.
Oh, the kobold trades, well... Back when we first started trading with them, it was pretty simple. They wanted food because they live in the center of the mountains. There's really nothing to hunt, except for bigger creatures than they are. And they would give us raw materials. As the years went by, they instead wanted us to give them food and finely crafted items with those raw materials in trade of lesser materials, as if they were trying to hold them for something else. It became quite difficult to trade with them, honestly, as the years grew by. They became bolder in their trade negotiations as they start to understand what it is that we were looking for. And eventually it came to where sometimes we'd come back empty-handed because they would want too much, and that would have put us in a great setback for Iris. So, as of late, that's why I've been having Nimrod accompany me, maybe fresh take on the trades. He could teach me something that my old eyes can't see. But the kobolds have grown greedy. Why do you ask?
I heard some troubling things from, dare I say, the goblins.
You spoke to the goblins? Well,
words can travel faster than swords, Father.
I guess you do have a very good point. The pen is mightier than the sword, as they say. What exactly did you speak with them about?
The goblins' goal is they want to kill all of the kobolds because they were kicked out of, apparently they were kicked out of their home in the mountains.
Really?
But I just don't know how to feel about the kobolds at this point.
Well, did they say how long ago it was? Because, in all honesty, I've noticed the kobolds have been bringing more and more of themselves as a show of force, as if they're ready to attack if things don't go their way. That leads me to believe they're getting more aggressive.
Do you think maybe Drew might have been right?
In going to war with the kobolds?
Yes, if they keep bringing more and more kobolds to show force, then...
Well, on two hands, I can see that us taking over the kobolds would help benefit Iris greatly, for sure. But on the other hand,
definitely
the
a
price
risk.
that we'd have to pay, kobolds are very crafty. Their intricate tunnels are no match for an army, but honestly, an army's no match for their tunnels if you think about it. The traps that they lay, the way they protect themselves, it's a maze, and if you get caught in it and lost, you will die before ever seeing another kobold or a friend.
And Dragonborn have never been known for their ability to see in the dark.
That is true, but kobolds definitely can. So, it would be, dare I say, a two-sided battle. One, we're fighting ourselves and our own shortcomings to take out the kobolds, and then we have to fight them on their home turf. They will not meet us on a battlefield. Not like orcs, like you saw the other day.
Jeff, what do you think about this?
Well, how would it affect things if the goblins did come and kill all the kobolds exactly?
Well, I believe that maybe, depending on if they take residence in where the kobolds used to live, it might mean that we have to deal with goblins now, and honestly, I don't see that going any better than kobolds. Especially if the kobolds end up trying to take things by force.
And
It may not matter.
And you said that the kobolds are getting more and more aggressive lately
Oh yes, they are.
between you. But you said they were vital to the trade for you, right?
Well, they used to be vital, in all honesty. It's how we began to grow. Nowadays, we kind of do it out of tradition, but we definitely, well, how do I say this? Our mine shafts are definitely run dry. We wouldn't be able to make anything new with the materials that we have, or with the raw resources we have, without the kobolds. So in order to keep the prosperity going, as opposed to just staying stagnant, we do need the kobolds, but more or less we need their resources, not the kobolds themselves, which is why Jurum was somewhat right.
And how close do you feel with or you said I heard they were distant cousins to you, or is that not really held in that high regard? Or is that not something that...
Dragonborn have always had a soft spot for kobolds because we see them as little brothers, if you think of it. Like a scrawny little version of ourselves. So we want to protect them, but it always comes up that the little brother wants to become the new big brother, and he will do anything he can to do such. And that is kind of what is happening now.
May I ask how old you are?
Honestly, hun, when was my last birthday? It was right before Ferdraig left. You are 72. Oh, 72, that's right.
Do you remember in the last 70 years any sort of commotion coming up from the mountains? Because the leader goblin, said that he and his people were driven out by this mythical legend of a red dragon under the mountain. Do you remember that happening?
I've heard legends of the dragons, yes, but I've never seen a dragon myself. I've also heard that when the dragon stirs from its sleep, the volcano erupts in the middle of the mountain. And that hasn't happened in years. Well, hundreds, maybe thousands of years. So, if the goblins were attacked by a dragon, it was something different than the guardian of the mountains.
Okay.
Maybe somehow the kobolds have magic that makes it look like a dragon. Goblins are not known to be the most intelligent creatures.
And you said that kobolds are resourceful, yes?
Oh yes, they are. They're very crafty. They can create things that I've never even thought of. Sometimes they're really good works of art, and others they're just abominations. Ugh. He sort of shivers at the thought of something that he may have seen.
Well, I'm sure our craftsmen can match anything that they make.
Well, when it comes to goods for sale, we are far superior. But when it comes to crude weaponry and traps and such, kobolds have a twisted thinking about them.
Okay. Well, it seems like the bottom line is, for the health of your tribe here, that you just need a trade option, a trade route to be established and continue on. Doesn't really mean that you need kobolds necessarily. And they may not be looking out for your best interests as well.
I would certainly say that they are no longer in need of the Dragonborn.
Okay. So, say there was another group potentially coming this way to
Humans.
kill goblins, and also they are interested in what the kobolds have as well. And they're going to be coming here no matter what. Eventually, we cannot stop them. We can influence them at best. Maybe we could use them to take out one of these groups, whichever one we decide.
You speak of Siege's people.
Yes, I do. He was very interested once we spoke about how we got the goblins out of what's that one town? Ashenport, and he had a keen interest on this location as well, particularly with the raw resources. We could use him to our advantage. Maybe, I don't know, get them all down in the mine shafts together and have them all fight it out, and we choose a side that wins. But
Well, I'm very certain that that would work, but I'm not on the council. You should bring that to them and their attention. I do not know if they
We will
know
do
of the
that.
third party.
do you have a map of these mine shafts at all?
So,
We don't even know where the kobolds live, actually. We've never seen them where they surface because they do not like the sun. It burns them.
So they literally like vampires. It burns their skin. That's what you're saying.
Well, not necessarily burns, but it definitely doesn't feel good to them. It makes them weaker.
Do you know if would illusionary magic cause the same effect? Like if it was something that was made out to be looking like sun or natural sunlight?
Not the fact that it looks like it. I think it has to actually radiate the same type of light as the sun.
Okay, that's useful to know.
well,
Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
information.
And bring that info to the council so that they know. Maybe they will actually see that going to war with the kobolds is what this town needs, after all.
Okay.
And son, I'm sorry I never told you about my work. It's just, when I come home, I just want to be with you and the family. I want to leave work out the door. So I apologize if this has strayed you from me.
it's fine. Had your reasons.
Well, you have yours as well, I'm sure.
Father, how close were you with Nimrod?
Well, we weren't the best of friends, but we occasionally went to go get some dragon's blood together. The ale, that is. The wine. Why do you ask?
Well, today I had to go to the Cave of Reflection.
You had to go?
Yes.
What did you do?
In fits of rage and misunderstanding, it was I who has slain Nimrod today.
You see his jaw drop, and you can see a tear or two in his eyes as he rushes forward and embraces you for a hug.
Father, I don't understand. I don't deserve this.
No, it's okay. Hush. You were misled, misguided is all. You made a mistake. You saw him hurt your family and you wanted vengeance. I understand. He pulls away from you and looks at you in the eyes. When did your eye turn purple? You hear your mother.
There
"What?"
was
And she comes by.
As I was mourning the death of our clansman earlier, a strange black dragonborn fellow came by.
Black Dragonborn? There is no such thing.
I assure you this is what I saw, but I know now that maybe he wasn't all that he's seen, and possibly more. And he offered me power, and this is proof of it.
Well. And is it this power that drove you to kill Nimrod?
I wanted the power so that I didn't have to see any more of my clansmen die, but it just...
Son, it sounds like it's not the power, it's a conflict within yourself. It sounds like you need to learn to control yourself, to think things through before acting.
That's not the first time I've heard that today.
Well, as you get older, you understand that rash decisions often lead to terrible decisions. I've made a couple of those in my time.
Thank you, Father.
Listen,
Blessed to have you.
he puts his arm on, his hand on your shoulder. Master your master your emotions, and you will master that power, and you can save whoever you want, including yourself. But that's the first thing. You have to save yourself first.
Thank you.
You're welcome, son. Oh, your mother made sweet cake for you. And he sort of looks at your mother, and she has the oven opened up so that you can see a sweet cake, your favorite dessert. Will you be joining us for dinner tonight?
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Beautiful. I love when we get back together as a family. It makes it seem like you never left.
Well, we have, as you know, we have some things to discuss with the council.
Oh yes,
We'll
very
be going
much.
for now.
We will expect you back for dinner. It should be around 7 o'clock.
All right.
Okay. With that, he gives you one final hug as he goes to help your mother in the kitchen. And then you guys go ahead and walk on out and head on to the council chamber. Bill is missing everything.
MIA.
Hey Bill, you back yet?
Fucking no. Nope.
Yeah, that is a no.
Rest in peace, Bill's participation.
I'm certain it's
Private.
not his fault.
Yeah.
It's what happens when
Probably-
you get hitched. No offense, Rachel.
Rip. Full offense, perhaps.
I know we discussed that earlier, but alright. So at this point, do you go straight to the council chamber then?
Well, I mean, we gather the party and then we go to the council chamber.
Well, they were all with you at your house.
Oh, they were just following us.
Yeah.
Creepily listening.
No one else decided to talk.
It was
Did
a
we-
tender moment, okay?
Yeah, it was
Gosh.
a family moment there.
Alright, guys, I'm just gonna go to the council, I guess.
Okay, so as you walk up to the council,
Wait, before we go to the council, I want to ask. I know I've mentioned this a bunch of times, using Siege as a kind of playing chip or playing card in this upcoming battle that may or may not be happening. Do you guys want to actually use this, or if we do, we have to be on the same page?
I don't think Siege is someone that we can easily manipulate. He seems like a guy with a decent amount of power under him.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just meant manipulating him as in not tell him all the facts and let him go in one direction and do whatever he does, and maybe that can.
Well, we already know what his goals are. I mean, as far as my people go, we just have to decide on how much we care about the kobolds and the goblins. I'm sure it's a very easy decision to say, yeah, we'll kill all the goblins. It'll be great, but genocide's never really been a good answer.
Okay. Well, I'm just wanting to put out there the risk as well as involving Side Siege, like you just said. I kind of I like him. I think he's a powerful ally, but we have to be very careful about this if we do that. So.
It's good to have all of our options laid out on the table, so to speak.
Octa would like to know who's Siege?
Siege is insert race here because I've completely forgotten. Human? He's elf.
Yes.
Siege is this crazy elf guy who leads over this fortress of Siege. It's very tackily named. Some to the northeast.
If I had my own fortress, I'd totally name it after myself. Okay, go on.
Fortress act, the purple.
I promise you, I just said, "Oh my god, you people in character." Just.
They duly note it and then say, "Let's go to the council." I'm joking.
Yeah, he lives up north, and he's always trying to expand his power. And he employed us to sort out this goblin kobold issues. He wanted to avoid the war between them because they were actually on both sides of it. He was right in between. So we somehow got the goblins out of that one port, and then they started to move over here on foot. And the war has been moved to another front, so he's not involved. But we mentioned that there's resources here, and now he's interested. So
sounds like a shady character.
Kind of is, but he is also a potential good ally. I don't really trust him myself, but he does have his uses.
Elf.
Say again?
Elf. It's that weird elven superiority complex thing.
Yeah.
No offense to this John. And before he's not actually here.
Yeah.
Out of character, of course.
Dan, are you there? Or are you sleepy? Is Miranda asleep too?
No, Miranda's
I'm here. I just zoned out.
Nah, you're good. You're good. All right, so y'all go to the council chamber then.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So as you approach the chamber,
Do we hear screaming? I bet we hear screaming.
you do not hear screaming.
Damn it.
actually. You walk up.
I hate it
and
when I'm wrong.
As you open up the door, you see all 4 council members standing there, and then they all look at you. Well, we just finished talking and concluding what to do with Jurum, and well, anyway, what do you need? Did you finish the cave of reflection for Drake?
Yes, it was everything I thought it would be.
And what?
And more.
Did anyone else partake in the cave?
Let's see, we had Nashawn, Jeff, Octa for some reason. Onara chickened out. And Adeline was daydreaming, I guess.
Adeline was AFK at the time. AFK? What does that... I'm sure. Well, hopefully your reflection has helped you find how you can grow. As that is all of the cave then, you are free to move about and come to and from the city as you see fit, but do heed my warning. If you slay another clansman, whether it's in the confines of the city or not, we will not be allies with you no more. You will see exile.
That's fair.
We understand the circumstances of Nimrod, and we have gone over everything that Jurum has ever told him, and Jurum did not have a vital role in Nimrod's choices. It seems that Shazia was the one manipulating Nimrod the whole time. And it just so happens we cannot find Shazia, and she glances at Jurum. It's not my place to keep an eye on all the people. I gave him a task, and I assumed he would go do it like he always does, but here we are. He might be. Well, did we check his fishing spot? No, he does happen to go fishing at the same time every night. I've noticed that. And it probably coming up due in the next 15-20 minutes of him to be there, so we could go and stake it out. She looks over at for Drake.
Well, it just
Are
so
you
happens
busy?
we have someone who's very good at sneaking around and scouting out the place.
Uh,
I kick Inara
I
in the
wonder who
shin.
that is.
Lightly. I kick Inara in the shin lightly.
Okay, I
You
guess
there,
I'll do
Tifu.
it. I suppose.
Well, do you know where his fishing spot is? I don't think you would, but you
No,
actually...
you would probably have to give me a map. Oh, I do? Okay.
Yeah.
I do.
It was where this red X used to be in the bottom right-hand corner of the town. That one time that you guys were investigating. Actually, I don't think you were here for the investigation, were you?
I don't think.
Probably not. Was that like Dvorkin's one?
Not
The one that I missed?
Dvorkin's.
Yeah.
It was the one when for Dre.
Remember when I was gone for that one session?
Yeah, we were
Then I was
investigating his
probably
brother.
there.
Okay. But yeah, in the bottom right, there was... Yeah, I drew the X again. So where that X is, that was a sort of drawing you guys found inside of Drake's home. And when you guys went and staked it out, you saw Shazir go to that location on his own.
Oh,
and he
maybe
was
I
fishing.
wasn't here for that. Huh.
Either way,
Possibly.
your
Okay.
character would know about it.
My character was there.
Yeah. So, oh, well, good. Then we don't have to show you. If you could try to get there and get a good spot and see if you find him.
Cool.
And the
guess
rest
this
of
is
you,
why I
I
got
would
it on my
probably
forehead.
suggest just staying here and actually, concerning the things about the goblins, is there any more information that you have about them?
Yes. Jeff, would you like to take the floor, or shall I?
We can both on and off.
Okay.
Where do you want to start? I think to you.
Let's, and in thinking, let's start with Siege's plans.
Okay, I'll start that off. So, I looked at Isot. Is she in view? Or not all of them here? Hold on. Hello?
Dan's AFK too. Yeah, we're still here.
Okay. Are all the council members here?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. I looked at Isot and I begin telling her about how there's a man named Siege, and I can't recall if she knows of him.
Siege. Doesn't really ring a bell. I've never met a man named as such. Where does he reside?
I believe he is northeast of here, along the sea. Siege the Crimson. He has a town there. He rules over.
It's really more of
and
a fort.
fortress. Yeah, fortress. He
Interesting.
initially contracted us out to stop a war happening between kobolds and goblins, and we have routed those goblins all the way back here. And
So you're the
they-
reason that they're back.
unintentionally, we eventually we weren't able to kill them because their forces were too large, but we did get them out of Ashenport.
The goblins have always been trying to commit genocide against the kobolds, and I was seeking to stop that.
The goblins believe that the kobolds, or they claim that they have forced them out of their land. Kobolds have forced the goblins out of their land, and now the goblins want revenge.
Interesting.
They want to take back what they think is their rightful place. Well, regardless of that, there's a man named Siege. He lives, like I said, northeast of here, and he is a little bit power hungry. He's an elf. He's trying to expand his
That would
power.
explain a lot.
And we he may have we told him about the goblins, and he may have heard about the kobolds in this mountains, and he looked kind of
He had this
greedily,
gleam in his eye.
at the prospect of raw resources.
So what you're telling me is that if the war breaks out between goblins and kobolds, Regardless of which side wins, Siege will come sweep them out, and then he will take ownership of the mountains?
Potentially.
That's his plan.
Potentially.
If that
But-
happened, would he be willing to trade with us, or maybe give us a portion of the land? Because if so, then maybe we could work with him.
Oh, he's I'd say he's easy to work with as long as there's something benefiting him.
Interesting. But
But
do
he
you
does
know
like
of his
allies.
forces?
I'd say
It's-
they're pretty reasonable. Pretty
political
Drake,
thing I would rather
would,
believe.
yeah, for Drake, you would know that his forces far exceed the amount of forces that Iris has.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't be winning in a fight against them,
Well,
even if this is our home turf.
So he's just got the great numbers, probably great
Yes.
training too. She looks at
No,
Jerome,
definitely.
no offense to you.
Full offense.
honestly, though, I think if you prepare, you could halt him and/or. I think you could win if you halt him because he needs supplies to move such a large army through the mountains.
That is true.
I was actually thinking about this for a long time. Depending on what side you want to win, the kobolds with goblins, maybe kind of funnel Siege that direction, and if things don't turn out well, kind of blockade him in there. I don't know. Either way, I think he could be a very valued ally in this fight to come.
Or he can be a great enemy.
Or a great enemy if we don't, or if you don't trade with him. He does like expansion and definite trade routes, so you could easily work out something there.
Jerome intersects. Sounds like we need this man on our side, and then we could take the whole mountain for ourselves. Kobolds and goblins, doesn't matter. We can take them on if we had this man's help.
That's
he looks over at
true.
Simoth. What valuables would we be able to give such a power-hungry elf? And Simoth looks around. She says, honestly, I don't think we have anything out of the ordinary except for our pristine craftsmanship. She looks at Nishan. Tell me, do you like shiny things?
Sean likes magical things. He's a wizard.
Well, I understand that, but as an elf, do you like shiny things? Are you back, Dan?
I don't think he is.
Well, he rejoined the channel on his own. You may be
Maybe he
muted
can't speak.
somehow.
Yeah.
He could be having his microphone itself muted.
Yeah,
I know that's an option for me.
same. But it does not seem to be that way, which is unfortunate, but okay.
Yes,
So
it's like
we'll
a-
scratch that whole part real quick,
Okay.
and I believe that maybe we could craft him some type of fine jewelry or something, and but honestly, that's really all we got. We have craftsmanship. If there's something that he needs built, we could probably build it. If there's something he needs fine-tuned or weaponry, we could definitely do that.
Hey,
Well-
sorry, I'm back.
Oh, you're back? Cool.
Yeah, back. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. Elf, Nishan, right?
Yes.
Simoth is talking to you. Do you elves like shiny things?
No, not really. We're more of a simple people with simple taste.
Interesting.
It's not what I've heard about the elves. Maybe I'm wrong.
So Simoth
Well-
looks at Jurum. I do believe then that the only thing we could possibly craft for the Siege would be weaponry. I don't know how talented his blacksmiths are, but I know ours are very talented. So if we could
Well-
cut a deal where we get to mine the resources and we can use them to provide weapons and armor, maybe that would be enough to join him on our side. Jurum looks yes. Well, you guys obviously have a in with this gentleman. Maybe we could send one of you guys to go and talk to him. I need to go get my dog real quick. I'll be right back. You guys RP for a second.
So Dan, what you missed? Still there? We're talking to we're talking to the council, the Dragonborn Council, about the goblins and Siege, and we're informing them that Siege is looking at the mountain greedily and could be a potential ally in the war to come. So. And not sure if you're there,
Thank you.
but
Yeah, I think you might be gone again.
okay. So I like how the conversation's going so far, Lisa.
One day we'll actually leave Iris and we can do something else other than worry about the
That's all.
Dragonborn.
It's all good.
Is Bill
Bitch
back
work.
yet?
Don't believe so.
He's been gone like forever.
That poor man, he's gonna have to watch the video to get anything from this session.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, what did I miss?
Nothing.
Okay. Cool.
Nothing.
Okay. Cool. All right. Anyway, so Jurum. Yeah, maybe we could send one of you, or do you guys
Well-
happen to have a way to contact him?
Oh yeah.
I,
Alright. Do we have a way to contact him?
You
I
actually
have
do.
something
I
in my
literally
bag.
do not
I
remember.
forgot.
I think I have.
I know we have like. We
I
There's
don't
got
a
have
a-
anything
special
more
whistle that
important,
would
but that's
call
it.
upon a raven or a war owl kind of thing, and you could tie the
Oh, yeah.
message and it would fly straight to him.
Yeah, I got the
yeah,
Seisenschloten whistle.
that
Yeah,
thing.
I got it.
He had previously given it to you when you went to Ashenport to report anything that you had seen, but you never used it. So you could still use it now.
Yes,
This is
I
out
pull
of
up.
character real quick,
Okay.
but
I look around, and I try to remember. I look into my my big bag of holding.
can you pull out Memrod's body? I'm joking.
Nope, nope. I pull out a whistle, and I
Pretty
think-
sure we left Nimrod's body in front of the thing anyway.
The guards took care of it.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good. I don't want to deal with that.
I pull out the whistle and I say, "This is how we can contact Siege."
Wow,
Do
that's
we
very
need to write a
impressive.
note?
A bird will come and take the message from us.
So it's a carrier pigeon.
In a sense.
Jurum looks at Edisot.
Carry a raven.
Exactly. No, you're good. So
Edgy.
Jurum looks at Edisot. Will you? Well, he actually then goes, "Never mind. You're not good with words." You hear Edisot scoff. Simoth, would you write a deal, maybe a contract, and give it to the mage over here so he can send it to the Siege character? Yeah, actually. We're offering him craftsmanship as long as we have the resources to mine and smelt ourselves, correct? And all the council members look at each other and they nod their heads in agreement. Very well. I will get writing the contract right away. It will take me probably an hour or so to make sure all the fine details are there. So if you could,
I mean, we could wait till morning.
that's what
Eventually.
we can send it off in the morning. It's probably best for the pigeon or whatever takes it. If
Raven!
Damn it.
Well, if that is all for me, I'm going to go and write up this contract. I will need a while to get it
Sure.
prepared. And then I will have all of you sign off on it, of course, council. And they all nod in agreement. Very well. Good night to you all. See you in the morning. And Simoth walks away, closes her door. And even though it's pretty far away where her desk is, you can hear scribbling. Intense or aggressive.
Aggressive scribbling.
At that point, Jurum, Tiefling, don't you have somewhere to be?
Yep, I'm heading off now.
Thanks for doing that, by the way.
Am I muted? No.
No, you're not.
You're not muted. We can definitely hear you.
So at this point,
Usually.
Inara moves about right
Scoots.
there. I'll let you pick your spot.
Let's
Obviously,
try a bush
wherever you
over.
see a tree, there is a tree.
This bush right here.
Oh,
Or a tree.
you know
Is there
what?
a tree?
Actually, before she does that, Onara,
What?
you want my ring?
What's the ring for?
It lets you jump really high.
Oh, yeah.
You can borrow it for a little bit and maybe you can find a better hiding spot.
Okay. I'll take it.
Give her the ring for now.
I mean, it's not like I can't climb, but I'll take it. Just make things easier.
It's fun.
Alright. So I'll be in this tree up here then.
Just make
As you
notes
climb
of
the
where that
tree,
ring
you
is.
notice that the little hunting lodge is noticeably taller.
Is noticeably what?
Is noticeably taller.
Is it? Then actually I'll go on top of the hunting lodge.
All right, so
is that
she
this
sits
one
there and
right
she
here?
you climb up the tree, and as you're sitting there prowling like a cat, you look up and you're like, that's a bigger cat tree, and then you jump, trying out the ring, and you do like 1,000 different flips and stuff, and as you land, you can see 2 mage hands go into the air, holding out a number 10 with their fingers.
Incredible.
Also, that doesn't happen.
Nailed
because they
it.
can't see you, but for flavor.
If we could see
yeah.
her, then yes, it would have definitely happened.
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, my passive
only,
perception didn't catch anything?
Well, you're actively looking for something at this point.
It's true.
Reasonable.
So as the time
Yeah,
comes by, you remember the last time Shazir walked down this exact path, but no one is walking that way. No one is walking this way either, and it is definitely time for Shazir to be fishing. What you do notice, however, as you're looking around, you look in the river, and you see a dead fish floating, and you catch a glint of something in its mouth. Something sparkles.
Ooh. Can I try to wrestle that thing out of the fish's mouth?
Yeah, it's a dead fish, and it is floating down the river pretty quickly,
Okay.
but not quick enough to where you wouldn't be able to do it. So,
Awesome.
do you happen
Do
to
I have to roll
have any
anything?
type of fishing gear or anything like that? Or a spear?
Here. Let's see. Do I have a spear?
You have a bunch of
I don't
crossbow
think I have a
bolts.
spear. Yeah, I don't have a spear, but I'm pretty sure I have crossbow bolts and
You've got a
and
rapier, I would,
a rope.
yeah, if you wanted to try that, you could try to grapple it, I guess, with the rope. You have infinite rope.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, he hasn't.
Well, I have a different rope. I've given her a lot of rope, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered to keep track of all the rope I
I
give
think I
out to
already
people.
had rope. Okay, so just use my crossbow.
Okay, so you tie the rope to the crossbow bolt and you take aim, and you sit there and you aim it at this dead fish in the water, and you see the crossbow bolt skewer the fish, and then it catches, and then you start to reel it in, and then you hold up this dead, rotten fish. It's probably been dead for quite a few days. So this one is alarming, but there's a bottle with a note inside of it.
I would like to read this note.
All right, you open it up, and it's in a, let's see, what languages do you speak? All right, so it is in, it's in something that you don't quite understand. You don't know what these letters are, but they're pretty crude and mundane.
Okay. Then I'll just save it for later to show to the rest of the group, because between us, somebody's got to know it.
All right.
So, message in a bottle.
Yes.
A bottle. Okay. Can I hang around a little longer, see if maybe he's running late?
Yeah, so you hang out for a little bit longer. 30 minutes go by, nothing. Another 30 minutes go by, nothing. And then after a couple more minutes after that, you kind of go, okay, this is kind of stupid. You get the thought that this is stupid, no one's coming.
Yeah. Do I know where he lives?
You guys do know where his house is, yes.
Can I go to his house and, like, go investigate?
Are you going alone or are you getting the party?
They're too loud.
Gotcha. Alright, so...
I'll think to them, okay. I'll think to them and let them know what I'm doing and see if anyone wants to tag along.
Drake is very sneaky.
Sneaky-ish.
Is he, though?
He can be, with a little bit of effort.
Everyone is loud compared to Anara.
That is the truth of truth. So Shazir lives in these houses right here. I don't have one picked out because I didn't think I needed one, but he lives in that cluster of houses.
Okay, does anyone wish to come with me before I do this?
Frederick is bored. Who wants to come with you?
Okay.
He casts Enhance ability on himself.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
are we?
giving him
are we,
advantage
like,
on dexterity checks.
Are we in like the mid-conversation back at the?
No, Jurum had looked
It's
at
been a
Anara
few
and said,
hours.
don't you have a place to be? And it's been about an hour, so did you guys want to do anything or just hang out with the council chamber or council
Okay.
members for an hour?
I want to rest and get my spells, change them up and whatnot.
Okay.
So it would be about
that'll
like
come.
5.
You
right?
can go ahead
6.
and change them, Jeff. Any of the new ones
Yeah.
you get though, you wouldn't be able to use until we officially end the day. But you can go ahead and be looking through and preparing which ones you want to have changed. Anyone
so
can do that, but you won't be able
So
to
I can't
new
use.
ones.
Okay, then never mind then.
Okay, gotcha. Alright, so Anara and Fredrig start to walk. Well, Anara starts to walk after she thinks, hey, I'm going to his house. And Fredrig's like, I'm coming with you. And
As he
Fredrig starts
casts-
to walk this way.
On the way, he casts Enhance ability on himself.
I'd like to see like how the surroundings of his house look.
So
That look
this little
secure and
sector of
whatnot.
houses is where the council members and higher folks of the clan live. You know, Shazir's house is right next to Jurum's house, and it's weird that it's on the right side as well, being that he is the right-hand man. Probably not for long though. Anyway, you look in Jurum, you see his family inside. You look, you can see Edisat's family, Simoth's family, Brennery's family, and you look at Shazir's house, and it honestly looks unkept. There are weeds growing, there are dead plants on the outside, the house has not been cleaned in who knows how long, and there is no light coming from inside. It is dark. There are a couple windows you can take a look in.
Yeah, I would like to look in one of those windows.
Okay, so you walk up to the house and you peer in, and you don't see all too much. It looks like a normal living quarters, but you see an open book on the table in the distance. You see what looks to be an ink quill with an ink well as well on that location, and then you see, I guess you would say, a cup with smoke coming out of it.
Smoke
Hey, no, that
coming
looks
out of it?
fucking weird,
It is
doesn't it?
smoke.
That's
At
weird.
this point, you peer over at the door and it's cracked a little bit.
Oh, it's already open?
It is already open.
We should go in.
Yes, I would like to quietly push the door open a little more so I can see more in, just in
Alright.
case.
So you open up the door, and as you peer in, nobody is home. The door squeaks a little bit because this gentleman doesn't believe in WD-40 for whatever reason, and you start to sneak your way over into the house.
Drake also
Alright.
sneaks his way over into the house.
What room am I in?
So it is a one-room house. It's pretty
okay.
much got a kitchen. There's a cot on one side, kitchen on the other, dining room table in the middle, and this has the book, as well as a bowl, like a pretty deep bowl. Think of a trash can in a way, but it's a bowl because they don't actually have trash cans back in the day. I don't think they do. But he has one of those that's next to the table, and it's got smoke coming out of it.
Okay, I'd like to take a look at that bowl of smoke.
Alright, so as you look over it, it looks to be paper that was set ablaze and is now all blackened ash.
But that smoke means it was recently done, huh?
Maybe it was some kind of contract that he needed to get rid of.
Or a letter telling him to do something.
Scandal.
I'd also like to look around his cot and see if there's like any interesting information.
So you look at his cot, and
Like
it is
journals
very
or
well
something.
kept. It looks like he makes his bed every day. You can tell that he reads before he goes to sleep because there is a stack of books right next to it. But none of them look to be touched in the past couple days, as there's a nice thin layer of dust collecting on them, as if he's probably been too busy to sleep.
What about what other areas were there? There's like the
Just
living
the
area,
kitchen and the dining room
area.
table with the book open on it.
Oh, let me take a look at that book that's open on the dining room table.
So you look at the book, and it's a cookbook. There's a bunch of different recipes that have been passed down the Dragonborn people from generation to generation. And there are a couple pages that have been torn out, and they're in different sections. It doesn't really make sense to you, but not every single page is completely torn out either. Only sections of the pages are torn out.
For Drake, would
I'd
to
like
look at it
to. Oh yeah, mine.
and see if he can make any sense of it.
For Drake, he takes a look, and he looks through all of the torn pieces. One of the pages that has been torn, it says sweet cake at the top, and you know this to be your favorite. The very bottom ingredient you look at, and it kind of disturbs you.
Okay.
It is a mucus given off by bugs that are notably found in your cemetery. But it is your favorite dessert.
I wish I hadn't done that. I will continue eating them.
Other than that, nothing pops out at you except for the fact that only certain sections of certain pages have been ripped out, and you get the connection that these pages probably had scribbles on them, some sort of message, and that is why they've been torched in the bowl next to the table.
Are there any pieces of only half burnt pieces of paper in there, or is it all
no,
ash?
It is all ash. Knowing that Shazir was a red dragonborn, you most likely, or you come to the conclusion he most likely used his flame breath in order to get rid of this.
I'd like to take the book with me.
Okay, you can take
For now.
Dragonborn recipe book, incomplete.
Okay.
Um,
So I can study it later. Maybe try that little shady trick that people use on like other pages to see like indents.
There you go.
I would like to see if there's any evidence of anyone else other than like us here, perhaps.
All right, go ahead and roll investigation for me.
Rest in peace.
I believe that is an intelligence roll, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Nicely
So
done.
you look around and
With a 1.
you see tiny little footprints.
Oh.
Do I recognize these
As
tiny
you
little
kid's
look
footprints?
around, Anara, you also notice them. Make a survival check for me, Anara, and for Drake.
Oh god.
And for Drake?
I'm so glad I have such high survival. Yeah.
Okay, do
Double-
I still need to...
No,
Oh,
you don't.
whatever.
Anara, you know these to be goblin footprints.
Oh gosh. I relay this, tell for Jake that it's goblin footprint.
Telling me that Shazir
Do they
was being
they
scandalous
look-
with the goblins? How would that even work?
do they
It's
look
fucking
fresh?
gross.
Did you what?
Do the footprints look fresh?
They look like they may have been there a couple days before your arrival, because Shazir, even though he keeps his bed clean, he doesn't keep the rest of the place as tidy, at least not dust-free.
Does it look like there are any struggles or anything, or more like the goblin was there?
It looks as if the goblin was invited in, based on the way the foot
Invited.
pattern is. There's no like
Okay.
scoffs or smears or anything. They are nice, notable footprints. So it could be either that
Okay.
the goblin snuck in here, or that the goblin was invited in. Either of
We
those.
should take this information
conclusions
back to
would be
Jerem
correct.
and council.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely.
So, Renara,
Trying
how
to-
did you like my
Oh
ring?
wait, can I look to see if there are any like trapdoors or
Yeah,
like
you won't
hidden
find
anything? Okay. Just in case he had like
It's a
a
dull
secret.
house.
A dull house. Okay. Then I guess we're gonna go take all this information back to the council.
First of all, hey Renara, can I have my ring back? I need that to do cool things, as I'm sure you know.
Fine, I guess. Here.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was cool. I only got to use it like once. I did a couple really cool flips though.
Wish I could have seen it.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Yes.
So we go back to the council.
All right.
Yes.
So as you're walking up to the council, your party members have decided that they wanted to hang outside for fresh air. Mainly because Nishan wasn't very happy about the remarks against elves, and Adeline likes fresh air better than being inside.
Fair.
Mm.
Yeah. You guys can.
So wait, is the council still there?
The council's inside. You guys are outside.
I'm probably
right
very
now.
busy. Alright, I knock.
Inta.
Come on, Renara. It's time to do some
I'm
talking.
going in.
Ah, good. The tiefling goes back.
I'll let you talk.
What did you find? Anything?
We went to... Renara did not find Shazir at his usual fishing spot.
Interesting.
We did, however, end up doing some surveillance at Shazir's house. It's very messy. We also found some small footprints,
Small footprints.
a goblin variety.
Oh, and this book. I hand him the cookbook.
What's important about the Dragonborn cookbook? Everyone has a copy of this book, I'm sure.
Well,
He's ripped out a few pieces of it and burned them.
Really?
It's pretty.
Interesting. Did any of the pieces that he tried to burn survive?
No.
Probably not.
Sadly,
He's
no.
a thorough man. May not be the cleanest, but he is thorough. And
they were
Jurum's
definitely ash.
Jurum sort of, you can tell that he's annoyed. He's like, oh, you're telling me.
Hmm.
So, obviously he was scribbling something in that book that he didn't want anyone to find. And now we can't even find him to ask him what's going on. So,
It's very possible.
did
that
you happen
he
to
was
find anything at his fishing spot?
Oh, I did find this message in a bottle, but I can't actually read it.
Let me see.
I hand it to him.
I also look at it like, sort of, just kind of reaching my head over.
It's at this point every character looks at it, and the only person capable of reading it is Akta. And Akta,
I can read that.
You know this,
You know
is,
this
Goblin.
is Goblin.
Oh,
It's Goblin.
I fuck.
Hand it over.
Goblin? Fuck. Who reads Goblin?
The new tiefling is actually useful.
Alright.
I applaud.
Hey,
I
trial
bow a
period
little.
over. Trial period over. She's welcome.
Alright, so as you hand over the piece of paper, she looks it over, and you see her sort of like squint a little bit as if she's trying to make sure that that's what it says, and then her eyes widen. Okta knows that it says, it's time to strike the kobolds at their heart. We found the dragon.
Oh,
What?
What
it,
do your tiefling eyes see?
it says it's. Fuck you, Aragorn. It says. Sorry. It says that the. I forgot. It was funny.
Yeah, it says that,
The dragon.
yeah, the dragon has been found.
Right, the dragon's been found. It's time to strike the.
That's concerning.
What does this mean? Do you know of any of this?
Also, in
That
the
is
bottom
hot.
right, it says
Come on.
sincerely Vraz.
Of course it's Roz.
It's signed Braz.
You all hear a voice
Rise!
and you hear,
And
"Oh,
Frederick
man, how
shakes
you
his
doing?"
fist.
Gosh. Darn it.
Men and
So I
women of the
guess-
council, do you know anything
Yeah,
about the dragon?
Charles.
The dragon is more of a legend. I didn't think one actually existed. And this is Edisot talking. But it would sound that... Didn't you say that the goblins were trying to use a dragon or something?
Yes. They apparently have an amulet of the magical variety given to them by some weird old lady, but with magic and stuff.
Well,
She
if
was
what you
stupid
say
powerful.
is true, and I don't honestly believe it until I see it, but if this
It's
gives
very
them control of the dragon, not only will they wipe out the kobolds, but they might turn their sights on us.
I mean, I don't want to fight a dragon.
But do you want the dragon to destroy everything that you love?
Hell no.
Well,
Also, wouldn't want to get
I will
destroyed
throw
by.
down with this dragon.
It seems like the goblins just want a home. They're just trying
Can
to
we
get
just
their own
talk
home.
to the dragon?
No.
I mean, we have an entire village of Dragonborn that know Draconic, so I mean,
Exactly.
it's physically possible to talk to the dragon. It may not be a good idea. Dragon are intelligent.
that is true, but do you know of red dragons, specifically for Drake?
I haven't heard anything about that.
Well, only because of legend, it says that red dragons are the fiercest and the most evil of all dragons. They only care about themselves and their treasure hoard. And as
Oh,
long
Zamoth, the fierce. Let's go.
exactly right. So did you Did you say like you looked at her or something?
Yes, I'm referencing her title.
You look at her and she says, "Shut it. It's in my blood."
What was her title?
The fierce. Out of character, it's because she is very fierce with her trading, and always gets
Ah.
the deals that she is looking for.
Got it.
Anyway,
Impressively.
they are the most evil of all the dragons because their hoard is their only concern, besides their own health, of course. They always try to amass even greater portions for their hoard, and they really enjoy subjects who give more to their hoard, which is honestly probably what the kobolds are doing. The kobolds live in worship of these dragons. So if the dragon is real, maybe that's why they've been driving their prices to be better suited for the dragon.
That's possible. I could definitely see that being a concern for them.
Regardless, and she looks at you all, if you do find the dragon, or if you find its hoard, I would not touch a single coin.
How would it know we took it?
Oh, dragons
Have
know
you-
a lot. They, according to legend, of course, always according to legend, I've never seen one, they know every bit of treasure that they have. And if anything is missing, they will kill everybody until they find the missing piece.
Aside from that, you can try sneaking something past our merchants and seeing if they don't notice.
That's true. So, if goblins get control of this dragon, there's no telling what type of corruption they will bring upon the dragon itself. It's already evil, and it might destroy, who knows, the whole world. The other dragons lay dormant
great.
across the world too, according to legend, so unless somebody is awakening them, this dragon will run a rampage.
Cool.
So-
Save the world from the dragon.
Who wants
and
to
then
slay
we
a
still
dragon,
save the world from
potentially?
God.
Do you want to slay a dragon? Come on, let's all go grab swords.
Come on, you know it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I'd say we try to
Do it.
avoid waking up this dragon at all. We can still try to reason with the goblin and kobolds, or just take one side out before this even happens.
Okay, I'm totally ready to steal some dragon treasure.
Of course you are.
How does this affect our deal with S-Guy?
Psy Siege.
Psy-Siege.
He just wants something
doesn't,
to gain
does
from
it?
this mountain.
He likes
He's
being
a-
rich and powerful.
Yeah, he
He's
just
like a
wants
dragon.
something to
Yeah.
gain.
Elven.
You can let him
Psy-Siege
deal with the dragon.
Dental.
But then he doesn't get the fame and glory.
He would die right away.
I mean, if you want to take him out, we can always just have him come. Yeah. I doubt he'd be able to beat a dragon. But then
Yeah.
I'm just worried about the dragon awakening and then taking the entire mountain for himself.
I
and
mean,
then-
what? How can the dragon possibly be 1,000?
I don't know.
Well,
what do you mean?
Dragons typically are immortal, so yes.
Yeah.
That's
I am just very, very weary about awakening this dragon if it exists or not, because it could take out the Dragonborn as well. So just want to throw that out there.
Mm.
I'd say it'd be better to just strike a deal with the goblins to not awaken this thing.
Well, if the word of insert name of old woman here is to be trusted, then the goblins, it's craft, yes, the goblins might actually have some power over the dragon. It might be
But-
worth talking to them, and we do know how to get in contact with them.
Yes.
I think we need to find out exactly what the goblins know and what they plan to do about the dragon and go from there.
Yeah.
What time is it?
It's
It's about 7.
Almost
Almost
time
time for dinner.
It's dinner. We should eat dinner and then do that in the morning.
Yes.
Let's rest on this tonight.
Okay,
Okay,
so
you
you
meet your
Perfect
mind.
timing.
All right. Well,
Alright.
All right.
So,
Party.
yeah, everyone, dinner, you can actually smell it. You can smell the sweet cake. For Drake, you take a whiff and then you glimpse into your mind's eye and you see that section of insect mucus and you kind of, but you catch yourself and you're like, it's worth it. It's worth it.
it's worth it. Yes.
Everyone else is like, yeah, we're kind of hungry. We've been fighting shit all day and it's time to go get our grub on.
A couple of us almost died.
That is true. Most notably Jeff with that critical fail of the death
God,
saving throw.
this-
Although it wasn't
That would've
your
been
fault.
awkward.
Some of
It
us
wasn't your
took no
fault.
damage.
It wasn't
Some of
your
us took
fault.
no damage.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
What
Anyway,
was he rolling, like a 0?
no, he rolled
A
a
natural
natural
one.
one, which counts as 2 fails on the death save.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was so close to death.
So
it's
literally,
weird.
all that had to happen after that, Jeff, was you get attacked one time and your character was dead. But
Luckily, we have someone who has a healing spell.
That's
healing
good.
spell and the creatures were more interested in knocking everyone out before.
Hmm.
They had a ritual, maybe, possibly. You don't know that. I shouldn't say that. Anyway,
Oh, did they?
no,
Huh.
I was joking. Anyway,
That's-
you guys, for Drake ends up going, hey, we should probably go to dinner. And everyone's like, sure, let's do this. So you all gather around. The council says, think about things and we'll think about things. And in all honesty, if anyone's going to fight a dragon, I don't think we're prepared for it. You guys would probably
Sure
be
am.
the best. Pyrith looks over, not Pyrith, Jurum looks over and I'm almost certain we could. No, Jurum, you are not certain of anything. It is a dragon.
It's kind of like a dragon.
And anyway, Edisot looks at the party. We will find a game plan tomorrow after we ask for Saiseech's help. Other than that, you guys enjoy your night and we'll see you in the morning.
Long rest.
Okay. So yeah, at this point, unless you guys want to do some role playing or anything over dinner, this is where we will end the session as the night grows dark and you guys spend the night at Drake's house again with full bellies.
But now Octa's there.
I keep forgetting we don't have to
Yeah, now
spend
Acta
time
has joined.
nights at taverns.
I haven't decided if it's Octa or Acta.
Okay.
I
That's
feel
fair.
like I need the in there, so it should probably be Octa. Yeah.
Machaim.
Yes.
That's beautiful. So yeah, do you guys want to do any role play or?
I'm good.
I
We
would.
can
Role
start it
playing
off.
takes more than one person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we can
can start it off. That way, Bill and Dan are here if they want to do it too. So, but it won't be for another 3 weeks until we join this here. Actually, you know what? Hold on.
3 weeks.
I lied. You guys are walking towards Drake's house, and as you're about to approach the door, there is a purple tiefling, or no, a pink tiefling gentleman outside the door. Ah, my favorite party. Morveer.
Oh,
And that's
it's
where we will
Morveer.
end our session. Cliffhanger.
And that's
Drake's
why
mind.
it's called cliffhanger.
We're alone.
Oops.
Yeah, I had forgotten that minor detail, but it's actually a major detail.
That's
For Drake
mine.
remembers the amber glowing like a while back. Like, oh, hi, more beer.
Yeah. All right. So Morveer greets you guys, and then boom, session done.
Alright.
So yeah, next week and the week after is gonna be Dan's game. So we will be playing our
Okay.
level 3 characters.
Cool.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Nietzsche's back.
Nietzsche.
Useless.
Oh boy.
So, yeah,
Awesome.
I will catch you guys next week. Hopefully, yeah, the Cave of Reflection. I don't want anyone to feel like I was, you know, attacking your character or anything. It was just.
I liked it.
Okay.
You're good.
I actually thought of something
No, it was great.
similar while I was overseas that I just simply never told you about.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, you.
Okay, interesting. And it has to do somewhat with that.
With like backstory
With his
thingies.
future.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because I was tired of not knowing anything about anyone else's character.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You guys, like in Dan's game, I'm not sure if it's because I help facilitate it because I want to know your backstories, but yeah, so far the only person that we know the backstory of in this game is for Drake. I think that's hilarious.
Well,
It's so bad that I can't hear you.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
you're
that
right.
it waited until after the session to screw up.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. See, I could hear you perfectly fine. I couldn't hear Brady for some
Interesting.
reason.
Oh, what I was
Yeah,
saying
it was like
that
it
everybody
was in and out so badly.
in the other campaign, I think I helped facilitate the role play with the backstories and stuff because I constantly ask about it. But that's because
yeah.
me as a player, I like to role play. So I want to know about y'all's characters you made.
One would
So,
call you an actor archetype.
possibly, yes.
I read that part.
Most of.
Gosh.
Alright, well, if you guys have any questions about the information that you guys gathered today or anything like that, just hit me up. Otherwise, we will be playing Dan's game next week, and I will catch y'all then.
Okay.
Something less depressing.
Hey.
I know, right?
Hi.
Alright, y'all take it easy.
Oh yeah.
Peace. Alright, appreciate everyone coming out. Hopefully you had a good old time, and we'll see you next week. Peace!